This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion. Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. Hell bent, more like, hell, I'm really fucking sad.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Still Got Legs, the only Doctor Who Rewatch podcast in the world. I'm going to speed up sporadically and then maybe slow down a little bit this week for Nathan James Bauer, who is joining me as we go through this fantastic journey in Doctor Who. By the way, you're listening to the only Doctor Who Rewatch podcast in the world. There are no others because they couldn't match up to our beautiful, dangerous, passionate, sexy hybrid energy that we bring to the show. Nathan, wagwan.
Oh, okay. Right. You overcorrected there, first of all.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. I don't mind. What did you think about it?
I hated it. Just do it normally.
Well, no, I'm not going to do it normally. I like to bring a sexy bit of flair to it.
Well, just, no. How about you do it normally in a way that people can understand, all right?
They understood that. I saw someone in the Discord this week even say something that they like a speedy intro.
I don't give a fuck what one person in the Discord said, all right?
Everyone else thinks it. They just don't want to speak up. They're too scared.
You do this. You see one person who agrees with you, and you're like, see, everyone agrees.
I said one person, but everyone else also does agree with me. They're just being quiet.
I'm too warm for this, Lawrence. I'm too warm. I'm too sad.
Yeah.
It's a warm, sad day.
It is a warm, sad day, yeah. And yesterday was also a warm, sad day because I watched this episode twice. So I'm double warm and double sad.
I've also watched this episode twice. I didn't watch it yesterday, but I'm basically always sad though. So
did you watch it twice today?
No.
I was going to say you would have had like an extra warm and extra sad day, like twice as warm and twice as sad.
No, I watched it earlier in the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't think of any fun jokes to do about that.
You don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't. Yeah, I'm not locked into this.
You're absolutely fine to move on, quite frankly.
Nathan, other than hot and sad, how are you today?
Hot and sad.
Just that's where it ends.
That's my default state. It's too warm. We're in the middle of a bloody heat wave here in the United Kingdom. But before you fucking Americans, all right?
And
anyone else, before the UK, get fuck off, all right? You don't understand, all right? It's a different level of heat here. I have been in American summers in fucking 30-plus degree weather and been like, it's fine. It's not even that bad.
Wow, I'm so hot over here.
The heat is different, okay? You don't understand, all right?
And our houses are built to retain heat.
Yes.
You guys have all got your fucking air cons and your fans and your windows that open ludicrously wide.
And your fucking houses made out of fucking wood and paper, by the way.
Hopes and dreams.
Yeah, you guys have hurricanes all the time. And you're like, let's build houses out of fucking wood, I reckon.
And better yet, let's put them on wood, but then let's also put that wood house on some stilts for some reason and have something underneath our house for some reason.
Well, that's in certain places. Like,
yeah, let me dogpile on Americans with you.
You gotta do it right, Lawrence.
This is our thing.
No, I refuse.
You seen Breaking Bad, Nathan? That bit with the crawl space? That's what I'm referring to. Where they've got that random pit of sand under their house for no reason.
Yeah, they have because they have a thingy, don't they? I don't fucking know. I don't know what they're doing over there. All right,
they put stuff under there.
Yeah. Anywho, what's going on?
I don't know. I'm too hot. I'm too sad. I'm too hell-bent pilled, Nathan. Should we do some general thoughts up top?
No.
No? Oh yeah, do your thing.
Yeah.
Tell us. Yeah, go on.
You keep trying to change the format on me. All right.
Well, normally you jump it on me, and I don't have time to even think
Lawrence,
about what comes
this
next.
is episode 126 of Still Got Legs and Dr Who. It is, of course, season 9, episode 12, written by Stephen Moffat, directed by Rachel Talalay. It is Hell Bent.
Whoa.
The series finale of series 9, the greatest love story ever told, comes to a conclusion in this here episode. Lawrence, what are your general thoughts?
Okay, here is what I don't know. I don't know if this is a hot take, but my note says that my hot take is this, right? Are you prepared? Are you strapped in? Are you sat down?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Listen, I think that Heaven Sent is, up until this point anyway, the best episode of Doctor Who, but it does remain in a different episode, a different kind of episode, right? That's perhaps not emblematic of the show as a whole, right? Like, you wouldn't say Heaven Sent is like, oh, that's got every Doctor Who, it doesn't tick every Doctor Who box, right? Hellbent does tick a lot of Doctor Who boxes, and I think possibly could be in contention to be the best episode of Doctor Who that I've seen. I like this episode quite a lot, is my point that I'm getting at. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I stopped talking at multiple points.
I don't know if you was pausing for dramatic effect.
I wasn't. I'm not
You're
very
always
good at
doing
pausing.
weird shit. All right?
Like speeding it up and slowing it down again.
Exactly. Stop doing that. All right. Interesting thoughts. I love it. It's one of my favorite episodes. I think it's a beautiful wrap up to Series 9, the series that is the greatest love story ever told. The story of the Doctor and Clara. I think it's heartbreaking and haunting and action packed, and I think it is exactly. See, I was gonna say it's what Doctor Who should be, but then like. A lot of the point of this episode is that the Doctor is not Doctor Who in this episode, so I'm having difficulty saying that.
But it should come with this level of like character to it. Like this
it comes, yes. I think it should come with this level of character. I think it's a beautiful wrap up and conclusion to the story, and it is, of course. A certified manga, goated with el sauce, which, as we all know, is Spanish for goated with the sauce.
Yeah.
It's just all round a tip top banger, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe the best companion departure episode. Do you reckon?
I would say, in my opinion, yes. Series 10 is really good as well. Series 10 is a fucking blinder as well.
Yeah.
You obviously haven't got to that yet.
No.
But for me, this is my personal favorite. Yes.
Yeah. This is like some Doctor Who episodes, and especially in the Russell era, right? They culminate a companion's arc for a departure story, but they don't make the episode about the companion and the Doctor's relationship. It's just like a big threat, and at the end the companion's like, I got zippity blorped into a zippity zap and now I can't be with the Doctor or whatever.
The episode happens, there's the big thing, and then there's 10 minutes set aside at the end for whatever weird shit happens. For sadness and to say goodbye and to do whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe for the most of the episode the companion is put into a box and completely forgotten about some of it. But hey, who's to say? Anyway,
who's to say? Maybe we'll talk about that.
Lawrence, shut up!
Oh, sorry.
Stop!
Trust me, we're going to get to some stuff later. Nathan, where are we opening on this glorious episode of Doctor Who, which I didn't know was so mixed, apparently.
Speaking of, we're opening it in the US of A.
Whoa.
Born in it, says Bruce Springsteen. Isn't it funny how that's often like, yeah, fuck yeah, America. Like, you actually listen to the lyrics of that song. Like,
give me an example of something.
It is not a patriotic song, and yet every like 4th of July rally you see and everything, it's like, it's because they just hear "Born in the USA" and like, fuck yeah, we love this. While it's like ignoring the rest of it.
It's like, it's not within like Republican Americans to fucking just completely disregard the actual meaning of something.
No,
every time I see Donald Trump doing a stupid
unknown caller.
Don't worry about that. Sorry.
Fuck off. We're podcasting, unknown caller.
The podcast. I ain't got no time for this.
Get out of here. We're talking hell bent. Yeah, it always makes me laugh whenever I see Donald Trump doing his little stupid dance to the Village People's YMCA. I'm like, you know what that song's about. Oh, mate, you not seen this? He does it like at most of his fucking rallies.
Never once seen that.
That's so fair. He does a little YMCA dance, and like everyone's like, yeah, because he thinks it's like just a goofy, silly little song that he can be a whimsical bloke to. I'm like, it's about gay people having gay sex.
Someone should kill him. Anyway,
we're waiting.
Anyway, Nevada, USA. What do you know about Nevada?
Not much. I know that there's red pickup truck in this scene, but other than that, not much about Nevada, USA.
It's mostly desert. It's where Vegas is.
Oh, Area 51's in that desert. Right?
Area 51 is there. Yeah.
Yeah, which is alien. There's actually, Nathan, they've actually built their base in the wrong place because there's actually an alien right here in this very shot.
Oh, yeah.
In Doctor Who, yeah. You see him pull up in his little truck?
No.
No, you didn't see that bit.
No.
Fair enough.
Anyway, the Doctor's driving a truck. He gets to a little diner. It's sort of like a little gas station, road stop kind of place.
Yeah.
Stopping for some gas. He's wearing like a weird suit, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a bit tattered. It's not as usual, and it's kind of just like
dusty.
You put on your dad's suit.
Yeah, it's dusty. It doesn't quite fit him right. It's a bit oversized. And he's got a guitar over his back as well. A Gibson SG Cherry Red, I believe.
Oh, okay. Where's this guitar knowledge come from?
I know this. I know about guitars. Okay.
No, you don't.
I do.
Name one other thing about guitars.
They play music.
All right, that's on me. I set the bar too low, to quote Zoe Deschanel.
Am I wrong?
No, fair enough. No, he passed the test with flying colours. They do play music.
There you go. See.
He's looking good in his suit, but a bit tattered and a bit fucked. It's clearly not like he's supposed to be a bit dishevelled and a bit run down, and you find out why.
Summer's gone on. Summer's happened.
Yeah, he's been through it.
He's pulling up at this diner. Do you recognise this diner, Lawrence?
Yeah, it's the diner with the Elvis store that we like.
Yes, it was the same diner that was used in the Series 6 opening two-parter with Matt Smith.
He recalls it later on, doesn't he?
He does recall it later on. Yeah. Again, I have eaten at this diner. Had a great time. Had a lovely meal.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, good place.
Was it called Gas and Stuff when you went there?
No, I think it's an Ed's. I think it's an Ed's diner. I think it is.
An Ed's diner. Yeah.
Anyway, this diner, he pulls up. He wanders in, and there's a waitress at the counter. She's got her back to us, but then she turns, and we see that it's Clara herself.
It is Clara.
What's going on here?
What is happening, Nathan? This is a bizarre place to open up the episode, given last week's finale.
What's going through your mind at this point?
I am confused. My note immediately reads, vibes are off. Why don't they know each other? What's going on?
Yes. Yes, they don't know each other. It's not clear who doesn't know who, is it?
Yeah,
They're both, it's seemingly neither of them know each other, really.
Well, I think they try and do a bit of a misdirect, because just before the sting...
they definitely do. They definitely do, yeah.
Yeah, but just before the sting, Clara's like, tell me about her, as if she doesn't know that she is Clara, and the Doctor pulls a big face and then the sting.
Yeah.
But,
it's true.
But they tricked me.
They tricked you. Well, we'll get to that.
Those motherfuckers.
But yeah, the Doctor says he doesn't have any money, but he plays, indicating to his guitar. And then Clara's like, fucking, yeah, mate, go on. Yeah. Fucking play away, brother.
I'm already getting sad, because I know going into this is a companion departure episode, right? But I'm sat there like, I'm not going to be able to say goodbye to these two, even when they don't know each other. Even when they're playing that they don't know each other, there's still so much chemistry. All the whole, like, don't you have to plug that in? Nah. And then it just plays and it comes through the speakers, and Clara's like, oh, I believe the magic stuff. I'm like, oh, you're oozing with personality and love and charm for one another, and I don't want to say goodbye.
Do you recognise the little jaunty tune that he plays?
Of course. Who do you think I am, Nathan? Do you think I'm Lawrence from fucking 2016, or do you think I'm Lawrence from 2025 in here?
Sometimes I think you're Lawrence from 2016.
I've been on my journey, my healing journey. I'm now swallowing it all. I'm 12 Clara. I'm 12 Clara pilled, as they might say.
All right.
I know Clara's theme when I hear it, regardless.
It's Clara's theme. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that they bring that kind of fourth wall breaking element, but just bring that theme through into the show itself. I think there's something really, really beautiful about how that's done.
I agree. I think we can speak a bit more on it towards the end of the episode, but there's a whole thing about memories becoming stories and stories becoming songs, and I just think to like almost take that meta direction and put it into the show is like their direct way of telling us the Doctor has forgotten, but this is a story. He's fictionalized it in his head, like show Doctor Who is fiction for us, but it's so interesting that they've done it like that. I think.
I don't know what you're saying, but yeah,
it's a good episode of Doctor Who, is what I'm saying.
Good. Anyway, there's a bit of back and forth. They're like, "Oh, I've been traveling from time to time and stuff."
Yeah.
And then she asks about the song, and she says, "Is it a sad song?" And the Doctor says, "Nothing sad till it's over. Then everything is," which is true and heartbreaking. And he says the song is called Clara, just Clara.
Yeah.
And then, she's like, tell me about her, and that's when we go into the sting.
Yeah. Oh my lord. There's no time for singing, Nathan. We got so much Doctor Who to discuss.
No, but then we're no longer in Nevada, USA. No. We're on Gallifrey.
Yeah, USA. Nevada, Gallifrey. USA.
No, just Gallifrey.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I believe it's
back.
Spain.
Yeah,
I believe it's Spain.
Are they shot it on Spain?
On Spain, yeah. They shot it on Spain, yeah.
They
went
top of
on to Spain, and then they shot it on Spain.
They have. It's funny, we spoke a little when they actually did New Mexico a couple of episodes ago. They didn't put the piss filter on it, but for Gallifrey, they absolutely need to put a piss filter.
Well,
on
it's got an orange sky, all right. They have to, you know.
No, I'm saying at least they know when to properly deploy the piss filter. So
the piss filter makes sense on Gallifrey. Okay,
yeah, it looks good.
It does look good. Anyway, he goes to his little barn.
His little barn. Oh man,
the barn that we know, the barn we saw in the 50th Day of the Doctor, and in Listen, which seems to be where he grew up as a little boy. Really,
yeah. I love him coming back here because it's already like it's so thematically dense. The last time we spent proper time apart from in Listen in this barn was Day of the Doctor, with the three Doctors all doing making a final stand here in defiant optimism and hope that they could restore Gallifrey.
Doing the exact act that brought Gallifrey back.
Exactly. And now the Doctor's here, I can't wait to murder every cunt here. I'm sick of it, quite frankly. But yeah, just the way he arrives, even the shots of him walking towards the barn, just in I think they call it the drylands in Gallifrey, it just looks phenomenal.
It does.
You can get so much mileage out. They've mythologized Gallifrey so much that you can just feel the weight of how cool it is, despite the fact it's just a desert and a man in it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
100%. And this is kind of history for New Who, because this is the first time an actual episode has been mostly set on Gallifrey, really.
Yeah, he's just gone there like it's nothing.
He's on Gallifrey. It's a big moment. It's a big moment for all of us.
It is a big moment. I like it. I do like that it's I've seen people refer to it as it's returning to the classic Who vibes, where the Doctor would just sometimes go to Gallifrey for a story and then fuck off the next week.
Well, the Time Lords would always be like, Doctor, you were summoning you to Gallifrey for this thing, and he's like, fuck off, I'm doing shit.
Yeah,
all right?
All these dusty old fucking losers.
I'm fucking about with Sarah Jane, all right? Sarah Jane.
And sometimes they're like, you got to change your face. And he's like, no,
he's too
I'm
fat.
too fat.
Yeah, he's too thin.
Oh, okay, well, that's much more reasonable. I can't wait. I can't wait till we get to Classic Who.
Oh, it's good. Please don't stop listening when we get to Classic.
No, we promise to do impressions every week.
We'll make it entertaining, all right?
Oh, he's far too old.
He's too thin. No.
You can't change my appearance without consulting me.
Anyway, it'll be good. It'll be good stuff.
It will
anyway, so there's a little soldier boy. Not Soldier Boy. You crank that one time from left to right.
Well, he does crank it technically because he pulls a big gun out of his ship, doesn't he?
Well, no, not that guy. Not that. But no, well, you're miles ahead, brother.
Wait, what Soldier Boy are you referring to?
In the chambers on Gallifrey. In the cloisters, and he's like fucking. There's the wraiths are active and shit.
Oh yes, yeah.
You're
he doesn't
fucking
pull his gun.
miles ahead.
It's the same Soldier Boy that we're talking about.
It is the same Soldier Boy, but that is yonks ahead of where we are. You're saying you got detailed notes? Are you sure?
I know. I just thought we were jumping around, so I might jump around with you a little bit. If you don't mind.
Jump around.
Another
jump
rap
around.
song.
Yes.
He's down. They're radioing down. So Rassilon's the old guy. It's not Timothy Dalton anymore. He's the guy from Game of Thrones.
Is he in Game of Thrones? Who's in Game of Thrones?
He's the fucking what's he called? He's either one of the maesters or he's the Sparrow cunt, the religious cunt that comes in and strips Cersei off.
He's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Jonathan Pryce?
The Sparrow cunt, I don't know, but the Sparrow cunt, I don't know his name, but the Sparrow cunt is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, hang on.
He's Elizabeth's dad in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Are they two fucking identical cunts? What's this guy's name?
No, they look very different.
Do they? This is the guy that's in The Crown?
I can tell you, I don't know who. No, yeah, that's the Sparrow cunt. Yeah, but that's not this guy, and they look nothing alike.
So hang on, Rassilon, fucking Hellbent. I'm gonna find out what this guy's called then, because that's throwing me way off.
He's 100% he's not Prince Philip version 3, and he's not the Sparrow cunt.
He's not Donald Sumpter, is his name?
I don't know.
Donald Sumpter, let me see him. He fucking looks exactly like this cunt. He's also in Game of Thrones.
He looks nothing like him.
But he is in Game of Thrones, though. But he's not the guy I thought he was in Game of Thrones.
So's a lot of people. So's Emilia Clarke, all right?
Yeah, but she's Rassilon as well. Who's it? Oh, no, this guy's Bran's mate. He's like, Bran, you got no legs, or something.
Is he the bird or some shit?
No, he's not the bird. He's the one that goes... The one that like heals Bran up and then tells Theon that he can't take the castle or whatever. And Theon's like, do what I want.
I don't know what's going on with all that nonsense.
That's so fair. If anyone wants to rewatch Game of Thrones, don't tell me how wrong I am, please.
Let us know. Let us know when we start our Game of Thrones rewatch podcast. Still got Westeros.
Still got Westeros. I like that we have to keep the still got branding.
That's our branding. Yeah.
Despite it being explicitly tied to a Doctor Who.
Or Bran still doesn't have legs, maybe?
Yeah, Bran's got no legs.
Bran's got no legs. A Game of Thrones rewatch podcast. No legs.
No. Oh my god, that's so stupid.
Anyway, Hellbent. Rassilon.
Yes. So Rassilon's here. He's the guy from Game of Thrones, but not that one.
Yeah, he's not Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
He's not The Crown. He's some other guy, apparently.
He is.
But anyway, he's here. He's like, I'm Rassilon, and I'm no longer Timothy Dalton, but the Doctor's a prick, all right? And look, and I may have imprisoned him for 4.5 billion years, okay? But look, he's evil, okay?
Yeah, but that's by the by. We don't worry about that.
That's by the by, okay?
Why is the Doctor so pissed off? It's definitely nothing to do with me. Surely not.
100%. Anyway, in his little barn, the Doctor he's like, I'm in my little barn, I'm here. And then this woman walks in and she's like, oh, the fucking ringing the bells. What? I've never heard so much fucking nonsense in all my life. What's happening over there? And then she like clocks the Doctor. And then this great moment, I love the little synth-like Doctor Who sting they have. The little
yes.
It's not that, but it's kind of like that, a little synth-like sting.
I'm so glad you brought it up because in my notes I was like, how am I going to describe this if Nathan doesn't know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, man, it's like a 70s-esque vibe.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
like
it is.
It feels proper synthetic and like the I don't know. It is the Doctor Who theme, but it's like it's got this kind of like kind of vibe to it. It's real weird, but it's like we're on Gallifrey, we're returning back to those classic Who vibes.
I think it is trying to invoke some of those classic vibes because the classic was very synth-like and stuff. So just returning to that era a little bit now that we're back on Gallifrey. It works so well, and there's clearly a recognition between the two of them. This was clearly someone who possibly like looked after the Doctor.
I thought this might have been like the person that like ran the boys home. Or something. Because she says something about the boys will be doing this or whatever.
Yeah, she's like, what is it she says? She says, I've just cleared all that up. It's for the boys or something. I've cleared all that mess up for the boys. For the boys. And then there's a moment of understanding. She's like quite shocked for a second, and then she just goes, "They'll kill you." Yeah. And the Doctor's like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah. Well, but that's the beauty of it. The fact that he's not like, I don't know. Mate, so much gets done here, and the Doctor maybe says 2 sentences.
I don't think he doesn't say a word until later on when Rassilon shows up, and we'll get to that. But
it's so good.
He's silent throughout all of this. He's having some soup.
He has, the villagers gather to give him some soup in the dry lands.
Where is this village, though? There seems to be just this barn.
What do they keep in this barn that could possibly be stored here?
What if it's bigger on the inside, Gallifreyan?
Oh, yeah.
There's just a door somewhere and there's a whole fucking mansion behind it, isn't there?
You know Patrick's house in SpongeBob? You lift up the rock and he's got a gaff underneath it.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's a massive gaff.
Yeah. He's got all rooms and everything.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I like this. I kind of like the idea that the Doctor's returned. Because they refer to him quite a few times in this as like a highborn Gallifreyan lord, right? And like he's returned to the drylands amongst clearly people that aren't as affluent. Rassilon even says like these cunts don't matter or something.
These are. I don't know this for sure, but this is what I believe. I'm not that up to date on Gallifreyan lore. I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But
they will.
they will, trust me. But, these are not Time Lords. I believe they're Gallifreyans. Yes, They're not Time Lords.
Yes,
so.
this is what you told me, which broke my brain open in Day of the Doctor when I was like, but they're called Time Lords. What?
The Time Lords are called Time Lords. But
Time Lords are called Time Lords, but everyone else is just a Gallifreyan.
Yeah, Time Lords are pompous cunts. But
can they all regenerate? Can Gallifreyans all regenerate?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
What makes them? What's the distinction? That's what I don't get.
I think Gallifreyans can regenerate. Yes, but Time Lords. The distinction is that Time Lord is a rank. Okay.
Yes, not a species. Yes,
not a species. Time Lord is, I believe, someone from the Academy. And again, I'm sure people will correct me on this, but even that changes sometimes depending on. Yeah, fucking where the source is coming from or whatever. So,
it would be funny retroactively if, like, every time the 10th Doctor sat down on his little fold-out chair and was like, "I'm the last of the Time Lords. There's 1,000 million Gallifreyans. Like, what is this cunt's fucking elitist problem with us? Like, we're all here, brother. Just because we didn't go to your school, you posho, or whatever."
Yeah, I think I think he's just generalizing there.
Yeah,
I think when he's saying last of the Time Lords, I think he's just speaking. Generally, like he's including Gallifreyans in that.
Yeah, which actually makes him accepting and warm, I guess, and nice.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, some words that have never been used to describe Tim, but sure.
Anyway, so he's eating his soup. Is that when the spaceship comes along?
Yeah. So basically, they're all watching him have his soup.
Yeah,
and then the ship comes down and it's basically like, we're going to blow up the Doctor, move the kids or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, everyone stand out of the way, we're going to kill the Doctor. And then he's like, at least move the children. Come on, get out of there.
They go, you want to go to Spider-Man, you got to go through all of us.
You got to mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
This is New York, baby.
This is New York City. I have a nondescript construction job. I got this pipe. I got a pipe. Construction job.
I got a pipe and I know a guy with a crane.
Hey, and I got a hard hat too. Hey, that's New York, baby.
I'm wearing an open flannel. What do you know about it?
Hey, and maybe a little vest. Hey. Yes.
Anyway, it's that vibe, basically.
Yeah. But again, no one's saying anything though. It's quite cool.
No, they actually don't say any of that New York stuff.
Yeah. And to be fair, this soldier, he's not actually saying he's going to kill the Doctor. He's just saying, just lay down any weapons. First of all, laughable. And accompany us to the capital. He's saying. I
like that when he says lay down the weapons, the Doctor drops his spoon.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's such a good touch.
Is that a throwback to the Robin Hood episode?
Oh, because he fought him with a spoon, didn't he?
Yeah. Sword fight with a spoon.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't even clock that. I just thought it was funny that the Doctor was like, I guess I could kill someone with this.
Anyway, he gets up from the table. He walks a bit towards the ship, and I guess the metaphor is he draws a line in the sand with his boots, just
I think
separating the two groups, basically.
Yeah, like fuck off, get fucked out of here. Also, just the way he stares down. There's a great shot, a great wide shot, where it's just an enormous fucking gun, and he just walks straight towards it. And Nathan, I'm not ashamed to admit, I wrote down aura. Okay. I'm not above it. I'm with the kids.
The ship even backs up a little.
Yeah, it does. It's like when the Daleks shit themselves when he's around. They go.
It's good stuff. Anyway, the ship flies off. And the Doctor's basically he's having a little nap or something.
Yes, he keeps going back to vibe out in the barn.
Yeah, he's just going to the barn, and then is it a group of Time Lords who arrive then?
Well, so you get sort of intercut with Rassilon basically having a fit, because he's like, why won't the Doctor just be mean and be nice to us?
What's he doing? Who does he think he is?
I actually, this is the episode I really, really appreciated. The Timothy Dalton fits within RTD's vibe, a big fucking pompous, I am the Time Lord man, whatever kind of vibe, right? Yes. Whereas this guy is just an old, decrepit, pathetic, bastard who's just like, why is no one doing what I say?
Yeah. The general returned, by the way. We saw this general in Day of the Doctor, and he's saying we could talk to him, and I think Rassilon says words are his weapons, which is true and cool. And then I think it's the general who says, when did they stop being ours?
Yeah, I loved it. Like there's an insinuation, and I think a lot of New Who has explored this since season 4 maybe, that like the Time Lords just fucking lost it in the Time War, and like
yeah.
they have no idea how to handle any problem without resorting to like the most extreme thing first, which is why when the Doctor just stares down a gun, Rassilon's like, no,
yeah,
fuck's sake.
I think Clara sums them up best a little bit later in the episode, which we'll get to, but yeah, they have morphed and shifted into something different.
Yeah, and wait, just quickly, Nathan, we're going to morph and shift into these ads.
Oh shit, we're there? Oh shit, yeah, okay, sick.
There's a lot to discuss this week. We're back.
I love ads. Anyway, yes. So again, the Doctor's having a little nap, and then the woman knocks on his door again. He's like, "Oh, there's more Gallifreyan cunts here."
Yeah.
And he steps outside, and I think that's where there's just a row of like High Council members, and they all like do a bow, and he's just fuck off and just goes back inside.
It's there's the bow, and then we hear the door slam. We don't even see him leave. It's just really funny.
He's just like, absolutely not. No way.
And Rassilon in amongst all of this, he goes, "Who do you think he is?" And the General goes, "To be fair, he won the Time War."
Yeah,
like,
he is the man who won.
Give him his fucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the woman comes in again.
They keep sending these Gallifreyans, Doctor.
They keep sending more of them. And then it's who is it that time? Is it a group of soldiers and the General? I think.
No, yeah, this is the group of soldiers and the General, and then he's like, "Welcome home, Doctor." And he's like,
yes,
more of this.
And then he goes back and get Rassilon again. It's like, fuck off, what does he want? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then
it's almost comical how long it takes for Rassilon to go, "Fuck it, I'm going down there."
Yeah, that's the final one. The final one is when Rassilon himself shows up. Oh, by the way, I think at some point the Sisters of Khan showed up as well, and they're like, "Hey, we're the Sisters of Khan. We're here too."
And he's like, "You got no business here," or whatever.
Yeah, we're like, "Well, we just want to see Gallifrey burn or whatever." You know?
Yeah, sounds like it'd be fun for us.
Yeah.
I will say, while we're just talking about General Gallifrey notes, it's very nice that the budget is upgraded enough that they don't just have to have a table around a black tarp now.
Yeah, they got a room.
They got an actual room
rather than just that black void they were in.
And don't get me wrong, there's some green screen shakes here.
There is some mostly with like the spaceships in the sky and shit. Didn't particularly look great, but for the most part, it's fine. You know?
Again, when you have an episode this like thematically dense and rich, you better believe I'm going to excuse a couple of shaky spaceships here and there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, so Rassilon finally shows up.
Yeah. While the Doctor's fiddling with his confession dial on the bed as well.
Yes. The two like kind of approach. And Rassilon kind of holds out his hand as if to shake the Doctor's hand.
Yeah.
But the Doctor then finally speaks. The first words he said this episode, apart from the Clara bit at the beginning, but the first words in this sequence he said, and he just goes, "Get off my planet."
Oh my lord.
The aura?
the vibes, Nathan. He's not capping. Is that?
But on God, he is not capping for real.
On God, bus off my planet, he says. I don't know if that works.
On God, this is bussing, okay? He ain't capping.
He's not capping.
Straight facts, my guy.
Lay down your spoon, no facts. Mate, this is the vibes of it. Also, just again, I think this is a really good portrayal of Rassilon, even though he's literally in like 10 minutes of the episode, right? But just for him to, and we'll get to him having a little hiss out in a moment, right? But just the sheer hubris and ego to be like, "Hello, Doctor, I'll shake your hand." Like, you're lucky the Doctor doesn't break your fucking jaw, son.
Mate, that would be getting off lightly.
Yeah.
Really. That would be so getting off lightly. He's like, as soon as the Doctor says that, he shit his pants and he's like, "We needed to know, okay?
Yeah.
You have information about the hybrid. It's a danger to us all. We needed to know."
It's brilliant.
Just immediately trying to justify the horrible things that he's done. You know?
Yeah. 100%, and they're just like, it's like a trading of ideologies quickly, right? And I quite like this because this is the first time that New Who has really spent on Gallifrey just as Gallifrey as a setting. Not the episode point is not we're saving Gallifrey, but we're on Gallifrey. It's just Gallifrey's there. That's where they are, right? So I like that they quickly positioned the Doctor and Rassilon as against each other. Right, and they do that so well in just this tiny little line where Rassilon says, like, "Do you know what I have out here in the dry lands where nobody matters?"
Yeah.
And just like you think about Matt, we say it at the time, I think you said it last week, Matt Smith's iconic line of like, in 900 years I've never met anyone that wasn't important. Like,
100%.
Yeah, great line. Great juxtaposing of their ideologies. Just immediately positions them as characters, so you know these cunts. Just and no world do these cunts get on. No regenerations of these two are ever going to be mates.
No, fundamentally different ideologies.
Yeah.
Different people together.
Yeah.
The Doctor repeats his line. He tells him to get off his planet again, and then Rassilon is like, right, fucking take aim, soldiers. All of you gotta fucking step up, fire.
Yeah.
And I like that the general's like, you sure? Like this
is the Doctor, brother.
This cunt's a war hero, okay? Like a lot of these men served with him, okay? Like,
yeah.
Are you sure you want to do this?
That's kind of what I like about it, though, because it's such a desperate and pathetic grasp of trying to control the situation. And the Doctor's just owning the entire Gallifreyan desert, right, without opening his mouth. And then Rassilon screaming all the words under the sun that he knows.
Yeah.
But no cunt's listening to him, because they're just like... 12 is just coasting by on vibes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's just that scary. Yeah.
12 is not saying a word for all of this. Literally all he said is... get off my planet, and he said like me too when he talked about having no witnesses, which is quite cool as well.
That's very cool. It speaks to a darker Doctor, but again, I wrote down that like it's scary when Rassilon says no witnesses, because he is the president of the Time Lords.
Yeah,
like, what he must have some serious power. But when the Doctor just stares back at him and goes, "Me too," I'm like, oh, I'm infinitely more scared of him than I am you.
and Rassilon is then like, well, right, fire, everyone stand up. He's just the power dynamics between the two. One of them is clearly in control of the situation, and one of them is grasping at straws. You know, clinging on for dear life. Okay, and it ain't Rassilon who's in control. Okay,
despite having all the guns at his command and everything else. Like,
but he gets the soldiers lined up. He like orders them to fire. There's like a bit of hesitation, but they do fire. But then we cut back to Clara and the Doctor in the diner.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I had to tell you something that happened, right, the first time I watched this, right? Because they do a clever little cut where the guns go pow, 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 pow. And we stay on the guns, right? Yeah. And we hear the Doctor going, can I have a lemonade? Right. And I thought for a second they were going to... You know, remember that time the Daleks all shot him and then he had a cup of tea out of nowhere and he was like, what's up? I thought they were going to do that, but then they did. They cut back to the diner, which I thought was quite funny, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Clara's listening. I'm sure you caught on to this, right? Because I think we brought it up on the show as well. But Clara listening to the story and saying like, so this is all... Is this real? You know, there's a mob boss back home, and then she asks him where his home is. Is it Glasgow?
Glasgow, yeah.
And the Doctor says, Space Glasgow.
Yeah, well, sort of. Space Glasgow, he says. Yeah.
And do you remember him chastising her just like a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago? Like, oh, man. And in this moment, like we find out later on, he doesn't remember her, right? So on my rewatch of this, I found this quite bittersweet. Spoilers. I thought maybe there's the twinge in the back of his head kind of thing.
Well, there's Summer there. He's got bits and bobs, as we know, but we'll get to it. We'll get to all that.
Bits and bobs, but no Clara.
No. Stop. Anyway, we go back to Gallifrey. We see that basically all the soldiers just shot around the Doctor. We see like scorch marks in like the barn door, basically, where all the blaster bolts hit. And Rassilon's like, "You missed, all of you, every single one of you. How is that possible?"
I like that none of them wanted to shoot him. Every single one of them thought, I'll be the one that doesn't shoot him, so at least my conscience is clean.
One of the soldiers is like, there was a saying in the Time War, the first thing you notice about the Doctor of War is that he's unarmed. Yeah. And then for many, it's also the last thing they notice as well.
More vibes, man.
More vibes. And then that's when like the soldiers just kind of like drop their weapons and all just walk towards the Doctor's side as well, which is quite sick.
I tell you something that I really appreciate about this, right? It's that the Doctor is often, you know, held up and lauded as this like god, this figure that can like is kind of infallible and unstoppable and everything else, right? And that typically goes against the Doctor when you get to know him. But I do like that it extends to Gallifrey. I like that even on Gallifrey, they're like, oh, this guy's hot shit. Like this guy, like we're cool and we can all regenerate, and that's like by the by and whatever. But like this guy could do crazy shit.
Yeah. 100%,
which I think is pretty awesome. I like the show's myth of the Doctor, but I also like it when the Doctor doesn't conform to it and he's just a guy.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. It's cool.
It is cool. So this is Clara asking him if it's real or a story back in the diner. And you get the Doctor, the first time the line is said, that the Doctor claims that stories are where memories go when they're forgotten. And that might become thematically relevant. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't think it will. I think it's fine.
Just Stephen Moffat just being like, I'm not going to know where else to write this line. May as well put it here. Unrelated.
Just drop it in, drop in a little banger like that every once in a while. So basically they fuck Rassilon off. The general's like, you know what, fucking get off his planet as well.
He tries to shoot him with his little glove.
Yeah, and he just like flicks it away. He's like, you got nothing. You got fucking no power here. Just go away, you little bitch.
Yeah.
And then there's a funny little shot of him just being fucking exiled in his little spaceship. He's just screaming,
I love that shot. It reminded me, Man of Steel, when they send Zod off in a big penis.
Oh, yeah.
In a big penis rocket. Yeah.
I will find him!
It's just like, off you go, you fucking loser. Yeah, man. I will say as well, Rassilon getting to. I don't know if Rassilon comes back. I don't really typically know. Whether, I know there's some other stuff with Gallifrey a bit later on, but I can't remember if Rassilon has a part in it.
I don't think so.
Okay, I do like that. I like that the show's kept him alive, off for another day, another adventure, right? Yeah. But of the two people, of the one person that the Doctor shoots out of the two people he could shoot, the wrong guy got the fucking short end of the stick.
So it's a different situation.
It is, but Rassilon should have fucking eaten some shit in the dirt for a minute.
It's a different situation. We'll get to that.
We will. I'm so excited. He shoots someone though.
Sean, shut up. We'll get into it. Anyway, so the Doctor's he's on Gallifrey. He's in the Citadel now on Gallifrey. He's like, I'm here. I'm sat down. What's going on?
I'm here. I'm sat down.
I'm sat down, and he's like. He's on a little word with the general. The general's talking about he was a good man once, talking about Rassilon and stuff. And then he asks the Doctor, "Isn't this maybe going a bit too far?" And the Doctor says, I'm only just getting started. Oh, and by the way, tell the High Council they're all on the next shuttle as well.
We're going to send them off into the sun and all.
Yeah. And good. Just a bunch of fucking nerds being like, how shall we control time this week? You know?
Just a bunch of dorks with their... the Doctor even makes fun of their dumb hats and everything else. But a bunch of dorks. And this is the residing council from the Time War. So it's very... it would make sense that the Doctor's like, I want no part of these cunts around.
100%.
Get them all the way fucked.
Just a bunch of fucking yes man for Rassilon as well, basically. Which is
why actually saying that we don't get a lot of the general, but I think he's characterized quite strongly. And later on as well, she's characterized quite strongly. But I quite like that this is the one person the Doctor will just tolerate. The general probably did some fucked up shit for Rassilon, but the entire time the general is trying to counsel Rassilon on the Doctor's don't shoot him. That's a bad decision. And even when Rassilon's been exiled, he's advocating for he was once a decent guy.
Yeah, I like the general. General seems like a level-headed person, kind of. Really.
Not someone that even when they when this version of the general meets their fate, they're very composed about it. And they're like, I get it, but fuck's sake.
We'll get into it. Stop jumping ahead to that scene, all right?
There's so much juicy meat in it.
We'll get to it. I know you want to talk about it. I do too. We'll get to it.
There's so much I want to talk about. Oh my god. But yeah, so then the Doctor visits the little cloister thing in the dungeon or whatever it is, the coolly designed place with all the vines and shit in Gallifrey.
Yeah.
The
cloisters.
The cloister. Yeah. And
cloisters.
The cloisters, plural cloisters. Mm-hmm. But the Sisterhood of Khan ladies there too. And the Doctor's like, you hear about what they did in that confession though? It was pretty fucked up what they did to me. And explains it a little bit, and we get a little bit of Time Lord lore. It's expanded on a bit later that the Time Lord's consciousness are all uploaded to some sort of matrix or something. Yeah,
this is kind of spread out across a few scenes throughout the episodes, really. But so the idea of a confession dial is a ritual of purification, I think is described, a way for I guess the Time Lords, the Gallifreyans, whatever, to have some sort of, I don't know, some peace, some come to a fucking God moment or whatever, before they face their ultimate fate and die, and then they get uploaded to what they call the Matrix, which is a big Gallifreyan computer made of ghosts.
A super ghost computer, basically.
A super ghost computer, and it dishes out like prophecies and shit, and is like, this will happen tomorrow.
Yeah. And if it does, we'll start ringing a bell. The Doctor explains this to Clara a little bit later on, right? But we will. I'll discuss this because I really like what this means for Time Lords. I really like this idea and kind of like expansion of lore. It's such a simple thing they didn't need to put in the episode, but it really just fucking characterizes Gallifreyans in a way that is quite interesting, I think.
Yes, they're silly little boys.
Yeah, basically. The big old dumb fucking egotistical knobheads, basically.
Silly little boys. Anyway, yes, so they're like, Doctor's like, right, if you wanted to know about the hybrid, why don't you just fucking ask me, okay? You could have just asked me. And there's a bit of back and forth, there's all this discussion about how it's supposed to be bred from two warrior races, and the Doctor's like, yeah, which ones? And they keep going, the Daleks, Time Lords. Like the Doctor's going, must be Wellard then.
Yeah. I like that he can't commit to. I like that Capaldi kind of half commits to like that line should be delivered. Oh, it must be well hard. But he's like, must be well hard then.
And then even like he keeps asking these questions about like the legacy and the legend of the hybrid and stuff. And then the Doctor goes, and what color is it? And the General's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then there's that great moment with the Sisterhood of Khan ladies, like, now is not the time to play the fool. And the Doctor's like, shut the fuck up. I'll do what I want.
He says a great line. He says, it's the end of the universe. It's the only time I've got. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've got to play the fool. That's good stuff.
So, yeah, the Doctor's like, oh, look, you've obviously come to help, right? You've obviously come to me for help. You want me to save you from this big bad hybrid or whatever. I'll sort it out. I'll help you out, but I'm going to need some help. And then he's like, Gallifrey is at your command, sir, because he's now the president. He's like, this is the 5th time the Doctor's been made a president of something.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's like, not from you lot. You'll cramp my style. Look at your hats.
Yeah.
Someone said it.
But then, yeah, he says he needs help from an old friend. And then there's this cool little fade. And then we're back on Trap Street,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I love about this moment. We're back where Clara's about to face the Raven.
Yeah.
And you can hear the thudding of her heartbeat throughout this entire scene. You can hear her heartbeat gradually increasing as she's getting closer and closer to the moment of her death. But obviously, just before that happens, when the extraction happens, heartbeat stops.
Yeah.
Silence, okay, which is quite important, and we'll get to why, but
it becomes
really
a big deal.
Yeah, I really like how that's done.
I like it as well. I tell you what, I think this visual effect that they do is maybe the coolest Doctor Who has done.
Really cool. Yeah, this kind of like static distortion kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a 3D broken tape kind of look to it. Yeah, like it's catching up, but it's also got those kind of like garish kind of colors to it that look really, really nice. Yeah,
really cool.
It's vibrant as hell. It looks awesome. It's revealed that the Doctor has opened up the extraction chamber door.
Yes,
mate. I can't take credit for this, right? But I saw someone on Twitter. Cookies, right? They're always being like, "What you watched on TV, we'll show you posts about that." Right?
Yeah.
Right. and I did say last week I watched 1 million Heaven Sent videos.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of Doctor Who just in various places now. And I'm glad I did, because I saw one person, I wouldn't dare take credit for it, but I can't remember the person's name. They claim that this is like the Doctor stretching his hand out to Clara from the extraction chamber, right, is like this a brilliantly twisted parallel of the Doctor taking his face sake too far. Remember that he got that face because the fires of Pompeii just saved one person, and Ten reaches his hand out in the fires of Pompeii, which is that moment for him. Right? And it's pretty much the exact same framing. The Doctor is holding his hand out to Clara, right, fulfilling the mission of just save one person, but it's showing you how dangerous that ideology can be.
Interesting.
Right? I obviously I'd never seen the episode, so I never considered it, but I'd watched the episode, I saw this post, and I was like, God damn, I'm dumb. These people are clever.
Interesting. No, I never thought about that myself, but yeah, that's interesting.
It works, right? I think it's pretty cool.
It does work, yeah, it definitely does work. Yeah. I quite like it. I don't know if I'd buy that myself, but yeah, I do quite like it. It is interesting.
So it's at the very least, it's a nice kind of way of looking at it. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Even if it does demonize the choice to save her a little bit, but I still think it's quite cool.
I think the episode kind of like it's clearly like not something he should do. Like,
Relax,
he shoots a person. Okay, like we'll get to it. But
is this because I don't know so much. I've read some thoughts in here and there and stuff, but I know that we've spoken about this episode having more of a mixed reception to Heaven Sent. Right, and is this why? Like, is it like the characterization of the Doctor in this? Is that something people struggle with? Or?
No, I think it's more the ending, but we'll get to that.
Fuck it, you're wrong. Fuck off.
We'll get to it. All right.
Yeah, all right, we'll get there.
All right, so Clara's in the extraction chamber. She's looking quite nervous and unsure and very confused as to what's going on. I love the moment where she's like walking into the extraction chamber, and you can see it's kind of from her point of view. The Doctor is just like, he's looking at her with just this kind of like this look of awe on his face, like just this look of like he can't quite believe this is happening. Really, it's just there's a lot of anticipation behind that look. I think.
There is, and I also like from Clara's perspective. You're right. That shot where it kind of opens up into that room. Right?
Yes,
they use the look of Gallifrey, and it's kind of like white, clinical, sterile,
very
thing.
Yes,
yeah, it feels. I don't know how to describe it, and this is a testament to Rachel Talele's direction, obviously, but like it feels fucked. It feels like something's fucking wrong.
It is. It's very. This is. I think it's very classic sci-fi because it's very. I don't know if you know this, but George Lucas made a student film when he was at UCLA. I think
the TX something.
TX 118 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And then once he graduated, he made like a feature-length version of it.
Yeah.
And it's all about. Like Yoda. I haven't actually seen it. Okay, but it's like
no one's seen it. Apparently, it's really boring.
No, a lot of people haven't. It's supposed to be really good. It's the type of shit you'd like.
Boring but good.
Yeah, it's like about like oppression and fascism and conformity and all this kind of stuff, and like. Yeah. Andor borrowed very heavily from that with like the prison sequence and the white clinical rooms and the white uniforms and everything like that. Awesome. It's very intentional classic sci-fi, those vibes of sterile and oppression and white and clinical have these vibes of something is not right here. Something is really like, this is not technology, this is not something we should be doing, basically.
That's interesting, like this kind of unnatural, inhumane kind of
very much so.
Awesome. Yeah, that might explain it a little bit, because it does you get that sense, right? I'm glad it's not just me, that it is fucked in there. Like,
it is. It's very intentional that it's supposed to be like that.
The way she walks in it, like you can feel her going like something is wrong.
Yeah.
Because she's not like, the Doctor saved me, he found a way. It's what have you done? What's going on? Yeah.
100%, yeah. And she's like, well, where am I? Is this the TARDIS? What's going on? And he's no, it's basically my place. And she's like, Gallifrey? Wait, what the fuck is going on? You know?
This starts the Doctor's what happens to the Doctor several times in this episode, where he just minimalizes something a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a handle on this by gearing this up slowly.
Yeah. He kind of just like glosses over a little bit and says, well, we're several billion years in the future and the universe is pretty much over. So you missed quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. Oh man, it's this is a good scene because the Time Lords are there thinking the Doctor's doing one thing. The Doctor's there about to do something else.
Doctor has no intention of like letting this be just like, because the General says we just have a few minutes. The Doctor has zero intention of this just being a few minutes. Okay,
it keeps shifting. It keeps cutting to his face, and he's kind of like shifting on the spot a little bit. Like, when's the right time to just go hell for leather here?
Yeah. Clara then, like, she feels a bit weird. She notices something's like a little bit off. Not like in the same with her herself. She's like, oh, something's wrong. Is it my hearing? Like, am I hearing something weird or
there's like a ringing in her ear kind of thing.
Yeah, she's like, it feels like something's missing. And then the Doctor like explains that she's always been living. Well, everyone lives with a sound that they've been trained not to hear, and it's her heartbeat. Her heartbeat is stopped, basically.
Horrendous.
Scary, very scary. Yeah.
The line that sold it for me is even your breathing is a habit.
Yes.
And he's like, you don't need it. And I'm like, that's not a normal thing to make someone feel human and cool.
Yeah. And the General is like, we have to tell her. We always, tell them. We have to explain the process. And so she's been frozen basically. Her physical body has been frozen in a sort of loop. It's described as frozen between one heartbeat and the next. And even the breathing is just a habit. It's not something that's needed at this point.
So they keep saying they've got a couple of short minutes with her, but the general explains, Clara, your death is an established historical event.
Yes,
it cannot be altered. We're going to get our help that we need. Yeah, it must happen, or time's fucko, basically.
It must happen. It will happen, and it does happen. We know it's happened. We know it happens because we've already seen it.
We watched the episode Face the Raven.
Yes, it does happen. So for anyone saying it doesn't happen, yes, it does. We've seen it. Okay,
because if it doesn't happen, the Doctor can't do Heaven Sent, and the Doctor can't be here to do all this.
We've seen it. It happens. Anyway. So.
Oh, it's never going to happen because Clara's going to fly away forever. No, the episode says it.
We'll get to it. The Doctor, he this is where he kind of just throws his plan into action, and you can see he doesn't really have much of a plan.
There's no plan whatsoever.
He just kind of wings it. He just goes up to Clara and says, "I'll try not to break your jaw." And Clara's like, "What?
My jaw?"
And he just goes, "I wasn't talking to you." Then turns around and clocks the general.
Mate, it goes fucking so extreme here, right? Just the one bang that he nabs his gun,
takes his sidearm. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
crazy stuff from the Doctor.
Huge moment, quite a defining moment, I think.
Yes,
this is because this is. I mean, David Tennant, we like to joke about this being bullshit, but David Tennant does very famously say, "I never would," as the 10th Doctor, taking a gun and fucking holding it against someone in this moment. But this is clearly a moment of, this is not the Doctor. This is not what the Doctor should ever be doing whatsoever. He's got a man held at gunpoint, okay? And there's a the general says it's the sidearm of the president's personal security. It doesn't have a stun setting, basically, so it's going to kill me.
If you pull that trigger, I'm dead, son.
Yeah. And I think the Doctor was fully ready to kill this guy. I think the Doctor was ready to kill this guy stone dead. It's only because Clara took his hand and was like, "Please, Doctor, I don't want this," that he kind of softened a little bit, and then that's the moment where he's like, "Regeneration, 10th, good luck, you too, sir."
I like that moment. I love just kind of going back to the strength of the imagery of the Doctor with a gun. Right, this episode itself, literally moments ago, told you the first thing you'll notice about the Doctor of War is that he's unarmed.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And it's such if that's not a testament to this Doctor is desperate and winging it. That he feels he needs to hold a gun to even pull something off here, as simple as leaving the room with Clara. Yeah. That's a testament to just how far gone in his mind he is a little bit. He has no idea what to do other than this.
He also at one point said, under pain of death, no one take a selfie. As he's aiming a gun at everyone.
I always find it funny. I did that moment. I was a little bit like, Moffat. Okay, move on.
He loves a little joke.
He does love a joke, but I'm like, don't undercut this. This is meaty stuff right here.
Nah, you can do it. It's fine. Anyway,
he's on a trip to the pub.
Yes. So he clarifies which regeneration he's on. I like the good luck, you two, sir. A bit of begrudging respect between the two of them.
Yeah, it's that I can see, we have a lot of respect for each other as people. I don't agree with the path you're going. It's what the relationship with Rassilon could never be. Yeah, because Rassilon's 100%. A hateful individual, whereas he's like, I get it, but I'm going to have to hunt you down for this.
Yeah. Then he shoots him in the chest, whereas I feel like he would just shot him straight in the head before.
Yeah, I did too.
Immediate fucking death. But he shoots him in the chest. He goes down, and then the Doctor goes to the scientists, Time Lords, and is like, I need a neuroblock human compatible.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So he grabs that.
And they're running.
They're off, mate. It's fucking. I don't know. This whole scene for me is a brilliant realization of the Doctor's no longer here moment, because this is what he promised. This is exactly what he promised. He was going to rain fucking hell on any cunt that got in his way, and it's exactly what he's doing. And I just the cross back to Clara, kind of recounting this in the diner. What we find out later is recounting it anyway. And just kind of helping him reconcile through that. You killed a man. You don't seem the type. That's a lovely, sweet moment of her. Because in the moment, she's like, I don't want this. I'd rather just go and die. I'd already accepted it. You watched Face the Raven. You saw me die.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a nice moment of Clara just kind of bittersweetly reflecting on just how far the Doctor went for her. It's lovely. It's a great
Well,
scene.
the waitress version of Clara says, "This Clara, you must really like her. You know, you killed someone for her. You know, you don't see the type." She says, and then back on Gallifrey, Clara's like, "You just fucking killed a man. Like,
Yes.
Can we talk about that? Like, and the Doctor even says it was him or you, and she's like." I don't care, man. You just killed. That's
you can't
not what
go around
you do.
Murdering,
Yeah, and the Doctor says like, well, the difference is if you die, you stay dead. All right, we're on Gallifrey, okay? Like, and then we see
death is man flu or something.
yeah, death is man flu, and then we see the regeneration. Just again normalizing male to female Time Lord regeneration, which is quite cool. I think
I was happy to see this. I mean, I know this is fucking a long time ago in the show.
But it was still like a new concept at the time of airing and stuff. So I think it's
Missy wasn't a fluke. This is
I like that Moffat was sticking to his guns. Like, look, it's going to happen to the Doctor, okay?
Yeah.
Get fucking used to this happening, nerds, okay? Because it's going to happen, okay?
Yeah, and then still, that wasn't enough time for them to prepare themselves for shock horror. A woman? No, why did you do it? Great stuff. Great.
The general even says that was the only time he'd been a man, or there'd been a man that last body. Usually, all the other times had been a woman. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Back to normal, am I? Oh
yeah,
God. Yeah.
How'd you cope with all that ego?
I even like the little soldier, like, "You're right, sir." Oh,
madam, sorry.
like the uncomfortable, like, well, yeah. I guess every now and again, Time Lords do have to be like, yeah, different now, actually.
Yeah. There's a good line about it. I won't spoil it, but there's a good line about that in series 10 about regeneration and gender and everything like that. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. And haven't they said before, like, how primitive humans are to all that kind of stuff? Like, the Time Lords are just like, we're always fucking changing. Gender's it's a construct, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Lawrence, it's an hour into this episode.
Oh, what's it time for, Nathan?
It's time for some ads.
Great stuff.
We're back from the ads. There we go. Extract, regeneration progress, blah blah blah. So yeah, Doctor and Clara go down to the cloisters.
Yes.
Again, they're in the cloisters. This is a bit of a spooky wooky scene where there's angels and Daleks and Cybermen and stuff.
There's angels, there's Daleks, there's Cybermen. There's a weird hologram of a Time Lord face ghost in a Time Lord suit of armor or something.
Yeah, so they're what they call the Sliders, which are they're ghost Time Lords guarding the ghost computer of Time Lords or something.
Now look, when we say it like that, it sounds a bit dumb.
But all of Doctor Who's a bit dumb.
Yeah, to be fair, I do like that they put a little bow on it a little bit by like Clara needing it spelled out for her, and the Doctor's like, it's a bunch of ghosts guarding ghosts, Clara.
Yeah. Clara asks him a little bit about the neural block. And then it goes back to Nevada, the diner. Yeah. And the Doctor says, there was only one way to keep Clara safe. I had to wipe some of her memory. That's where it's kind of setting up the premise of, all right, so Clara has no idea what's going on here. He's wiped her memory, and that's it, basically.
And what a flippity boo by the end. Yeah. What a way they had me on strings in the first
What a little
one.
trick they pulled on you.
Moffat! Shaking my fist at the sky.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we can skip past a little bit of this because it's...
The dead Dalek's pretty cool.
Dead Dalek's pretty cool. Yeah, it says exterminate me, which is quite cool. Yeah.
A twist on the usual exterminate you, which Daleks always say.
There's a Cyberman and everything like that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The bit I really want to get to is like when the Doctor and Clara are talking, really.
Yeah.
Because that's the real meat of this scene.
That's everything in this episode. To be fair, everything in this fucking past 2 seasons has been like, can we just get to the Doctor and the Clara when they have a chat? Like,
yes. So he kind of talks a bit about like the history of the cloisters and how like a long time ago, there was a student at the academy who broke in He disappeared for 4 days and then showed up in a completely different part of the city.
Yeah.
And
fucking the king's wife or whatever.
No. And he said the Sliders talked to him. They showed him the secret way out. Okay, and it's basically implied that the doctor that he was the kid, basically, because Clara said there's that really sweet moment where Clara's like, "I'd know you anywhere." Really.
Yeah. Oh man,
So sweet.
God damn it! It broke my heart a little bit, and just the way that Clara doesn't even recognize it straight off the bat, but like she puts a trap out for the doctor to slip up in, and she goes like, "Oh, was it nice, the president's wife or whatever?" And he's like, "No, it wasn't. That was a fib. It was actually the president's daughter, and I only met her for her." And then he's like, "Motherfucker,
Yeah,
God damn it, you got me, Clara."
And then there's a moment where like he like briefly looks at her and says like, "Oh, I was a different person back then anyway. I was grumpy. I was rude to people." And like Clara just notices something like in him. Yes. She's like, "Look at me again. All right, look at me again. Let me take a look at you." And he's like, "What are you talking about? Don't worry about it." He's like, "No. Look me in the eye. Just do it." And then she asks, "How long has it been since you last saw me?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
This is so sad.
It is so sad. And she then like the doctor kind of sidesteps stuff. He's like, "It doesn't matter. Don't worry. I was stuck in a place. They wanted information from me. Don't worry about it." Clara's like, Who wanted information?" And he keeps just like pushing the conversation to the side. Yeah. Clara like gives in for a moment and is like, "What happened to your coat? The velvety one. I liked that. It was really doctory." And again, he's like, "I just changed it." Really short answers, like this is not something he wants to be talking about at all. But she keeps pressing it on the matter, and then he kind of like, he doesn't quite snap, but he then kind of goes about. He says like, "Well, I can't be the doctor all the time, can I?" You know, which is a very telling line, I think, for this episode, and a very meaningful one, clearly.
Yeah, well, it explains the ratty suit. Just the fact that he doesn't want to have any kind of sense of flair to him. Like like he doesn't want to have any kind of that typical whimsy the Doctor has, and all he's interested in this moment is saving Clara and like having the time that he gets to spend with her being like their usual adventures, running around, saving each other, chatting about the Doctor's past. Like it's he just wants that. And then whenever Clara tries to get it even the slightest real like to get into a serious conversation, he's like, no, we're moving on, because if I think about it, I'll know I'm wrong. Like, it's brilliant.
He just shuts down and he can't face it. He can't do what Clara did. He can't face the Raven, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Yeah,
he's not brave enough to do it.
What a puss.
No, Clara keeps pushing it. And the Doctor, to be fair, he starts to tell, 20 feet of pure diamond, and you can break through anything given time. And Clara asks how much time, and that's when the general and the Sisters of Khan woman comes in, and Clara's like, "Fucking stay back, you cunts! I'll kill you! I'll kill you all!"
I love this. Just that, like, Clara already seems to be pretty upset by what the Doctor's already told her. Because we cut away, we don't necessarily hear it at all. But yeah, they try and be sweet. They kind of like, they come into the room and the general goes, "Miss Oswald," and she's like, "I'll fucking murder you. Stay where the fuck you are."
And they listen to her, to be fair. They're like, fair. All right, fair enough.
Because this is the general, and the general knows, like, that was a dickhead thing to do to the Doctor. Like, it weren't my call. I was just there.
The Doctor's like, "Look, it doesn't matter what the hybrid is, all right? It only matters that I knew, otherwise I'd have nothing left to bargain with." Yeah. And then Clara's like, What you bargaining for?" And the way the Doctor looks at her in this moment, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
You. Okay? I need to find a way to save you, okay?
Yeah.
And Clara has like a real like look of concern on her face at that moment, and then it's just like, "How long?" And the Doctor doesn't answer. He just says it's fine. And then she turns and asks the general and the Sister of Khan. And then last week, when we was doing Heaven Sent, I said there's a scene in Hellbent which makes that episode worse in retrospect. Yeah. This is that scene. Okay.
Yeah.
4.5 billion years.
That's not what you said last week.
That's not what was said last week. That is double and then some.
Yeah.
The amount that Heaven Sent says.
And I thought last week was like a ludicrous amount of years. Like,
yeah, it says well over 2 billion years is the last one we leave it at, I think. But then we find out 4.5 billion years.
See, here's the thing. I didn't realize I already knew this, right? Because I
spoiled yourself on your video essays, didn't you?
No, I'd heard the 4 billion years thing. Because when we had to delay the Heaven Sent episode by a day, I even said something like, if the Doctor can wait 4 billion years, so can you for another day or whatever, right? And then when I watched Heaven Sent, I was like, oh, I got it. I must have looked like a right schmuck in the Discord. It was 2 billion years. What a fool I am. And then I watched this and I was like, wait, what? But what? And then I remember you saying, there's a scene that'll make it worse. And I went, it's the scene.
It's the scene.
It's the scene.
Yeah.
It's twice as worse and a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
then, oh God, the way Clara turns and looks back at him at that moment is like, 4.5 billion years.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's like, if she say so, yeah.
Yeah,
and
like it's fucking nothing.
Like it's nothing, yeah. And she's like, why would you even do that? You know, I was dead, I was gone. And he says, I had a duty of care.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do what I had to do. And then he just goes on talking about like, look, there's a service duct, we'll get a TARDIS, blah, blah, blah. And you can see the realization setting on Clara's face, like, this is fucked, okay?
Yeah, this is so fucked.
This is so beyond fucked. Like, this should not be happening at all.
Yeah.
You know? It's really good.
So I'm going to introduce a segment, right? It may be a bit late in the game to introduce a segment. And it's called, here's something Nathan said a long time ago that I took note of and went, I don't really understand that, but I guess in time I will.
Interesting.
And this is the moment where you told me the duty of care line would come back in a big way.
I did say
and
that.
You said he would take it extremely seriously. And I was like, yeah, he obviously wants to protect Clara all the time. Makes sense. I didn't get it. I got it now. Now it's fucked.
Maybe a bit too seriously, really.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. But the delivery of it as well, like who wouldn't do this?
Yeah, as if it's nothing, as if it's like so matter of fact, like it's the only answer that makes sense. You know?
It's
like,
logical to a fault with him.
Well, why do you think? You know, it's I had a duty of care. That's what it is.
My note says, "Tell me he doesn't love her."
I mean, well,
mate, people going on about fucking like, oh, Rory, 2,000 years, 4 billion,
4.5 billion.
Rory must really care about it. 4 billion, come on.
I mean, well, fucking yeah. Doctor's like, look, we don't have time. Clara's like, no, my time is up between one heartbeat and the next. That's all I have. And then, very important, people like me and you, we should say things to one another, and I'm going to say them now. Camera zooms out. We never hear what they say.
That mate, I was so like leaning in, and then when it zoomed out and just showed us kind of like a bird's eye of like the Citadel and everything else, I was like, I had a I get it moment where I was like, of course we don't need this. Like we get it, me and you.
People like me and you, we should say things to one another, and I'm gonna say them now. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. This is what I'm saying. We get it. Does anyone else get it? Because I still feel like I see people like, they're just good mates.
Sometimes I think I'm going insane because I don't.
It's a platonic love. No, it's not.
Sure, like if you want to take it as that, sure. I feel like you have to ignore so much to take it as that, though.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to ignore so much subtext and context and sometimes just what is outright said in the episodes as well. Okay, I look, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and tell anyone that they're fucking their interpretations are wrong, because that's, you know, it's art. We can all interpret it how we want and stuff. But I just think like, I don't know. It's just to me, it's so obvious. It's so crystal clear, and it's so beautiful as well. I don't understand why people would be so hard pressed to deny that. But
it's the kind of people that, like, if you think that this is a platonic love, and this is just my opinion. Yeah, like, part of the beauty in art is that we can all see different things and equate it to different life experiences and etc. Right? But if you see it and you take it as platonic, to me that reads that if a person was trying to pick you up in a bar and hit on you, like, they would get nowhere, because you clearly cannot read a sign to save your life, in my opinion.
Oh, that would happen to me. I would get nowhere.
Oh, really?
I can't. If someone could be flirting to high heaven with me, and I'd be like, so how's your day going? Yeah, you know, like I would not have a clue, mate.
I have extremely limited rizzing experience, right? And one notable instance happened in our favourite bar where we got drunk and lost 10 pounds and got kicked out.
Not my favourite bar. I hated it.
No, it's a horrible bar, but we spent a lot of time there.
No, not me.
Yeah, you did. We got you out.
Occasionally.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you would often end the night. If we said we were going there, you'd be like, I'm not, good night.
I'm not, see you later.
And this was some person was like clearly what I didn't realize at the time was like hitting on me. And for some reason, I brought up a conversation about my ex-girlfriend.
Sure, yeah.
And then afterwards, I was like, when you have that moment where you just go like, damn it.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? That was dumb.
Yeah. I'm really bad at noticing that shit.
Yeah. I've been doing this podcast with you for like 3 years and you haven't picked up any of my subtle things.
You're married.
Don't matter.
Okay.
We should kiss.
We have many times.
You do it some more.
All right.
Followed by sex.
No, see, you ruined it now. You
Sorry.
lowered the tone. Come on.
So right, what's going on there? This is Clara's like, yeah, fucking calls the Time Lords monsters.
Yes, so the camera zooms out. We don't hear what they say. That's just for them, which I quite like. But yes, then it's back to Clara confronting the Time Lords and the Sister of Khan thing, and she's like, yeah, she calls them monsters, and this is what I was talking about earlier when Clara kind of like sums up what the Time Lords have become. Here you are hiding away at the end of time. They've become these monsters that are just hoarding time to themselves. Really, they're just keeping hold of it, controlling it for everyone. And she says, "You're hated by everybody, but nobody more than me." And then they're like, yeah, whatever, who cares? What the fuck did he say to you? Okay?
Yeah, who are you, man? We don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're like, well, what did the doctor say? And she's like, oh, I'm not going to tell you, or anyone else, but, I will let you know this. I said to the doctor, don't worry, they'll all be looking at me.
Yeah, and here's one little bone throw that I can give you, yeah.
Yeah, and then they notice the trapdoor's open and the doctor's gone. And then they're like, whoa, where's he going? What's happening?
We've been swindled.
We've been bamboozled.
This is another one of them. It's not as egregious, but remember that time when the Cyberman surprised Clara in the graveyard, and it would have had to have been walking for like a good set. This is another one of them things where like the framing of the show is the only way this can work. Because if anyone was just like anyone's peripheral vision, they would have seen the doctor like open a hat and go, like creep into it.
It's true, but I kind of like that though, because I think it shows they're so laser focused, they're blinded to everything else. They're so laser focused on finding out exactly what the doctor said and what the doctor knows that they're just completely ignoring everything else around them. Basically,
it's just that Clara like it's captivated them. She has information, they want it. They don't care whatever's going on in the room.
100%. But then she's like, "Yeah, you're thick, mate. The doctor's back on Gallifrey. What do you think he's doing? He's stealing a TARDIS and running away."
The way I cheered, Nathan. The way I cheered, and then the way I cheered again.
Yeah, so not the TARDIS, a TARDIS, a basic default look TARDIS materializes around Clara. It's just this silver sort of cylinder thing, materializes around Clara, and then she's in a sort of classic looking console room.
What do you make of this TARDIS look?
I like it. It's the same set they used for the David
Adventure
Bradley thing.
In time and space, or
just lick a paint on it, but looks good. I think.
I think so too. It just shows you, Nathan, that a white TARDIS can look good if it's not egregiously enormous and filled with absolutely nothing.
I'm saying nothing. Hey.
You got your one in earlier. That was my sneak one.
But I like the way this looks though.
Yeah,
I do like the way this looks. There's obviously very classic throwback vibes to it.
There's a reason, also, by the way, you've never seen. I know Doctor Who came out in the '60s, and everyone knows it, right? But I'm not familiar with classic Who. I've seen extremely little of it. Right? In fact, probably just some minor speeches and some regenerations here and there. Right?
Yeah. He's too fat.
I'm too fat. No.
He's too thin. No.
And then the paper mache man, and then the other one,
man.
Sylvester McCoy in a wig.
Yeah,
the classics.
All the classics, yes.
But the second Doctor one always makes me laugh. The way the face is going and he goes dung, dung. He's like, no, what's going on?
No.
Yeah, but they couldn't afford an effect, so he just starts going. But no, right? Nothing ever has screamed. This is a '60s inspired TARDIS. More than this, like you very quickly realize, the round things, they exist purely because this is peace and love TARDIS, man. This is chill vibes.
100%. It's chill. I like it.
I do too. It looks great. I like all the buttons on the console. I like how the console. It speaks to the future of the show, that it's gone on and changed and evolved as Doctor Who always should. But I do like that it is evocative of this is the OG TARDIS, and we really haven't strayed too far when you think about it. We've just updated and made it cooler, but this is back to the basics, and it looks great, and they look great in it as well.
Yeah, they do. It looks really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So off they go. Well, the Doctor has a quick chat with the Sister of Khan first.
Yeah, because she's like, come out and face me,
get out of that TARDIS and face me, boy.
Yeah, Clara's like, boy. Ooh.
Boy. Ooh,
sexy
what's going
stuff.
On there?
The Doctor claims the universe owes him this, which is already red flags again.
Yes.
And then, could you explain this line for me?
She also says you've broken every code you live by. You're going too far. Stop it. What are you doing, basically?
And he's like, this is just chill vibes. You don't understand.
Yes, you don't understand. This is just chill and cool.
It's a terrible thing to give someone hope on the scaffold. What does that mean?
I don't quite know.
I'm picturing actual scaffolding.
I think I take it as just hope when you know there is none, basically.
Right, I see.
Hope is a bad thing when you know it shouldn't be given.
Yeah, when they're giving someone false hope. Yeah, exactly,
basically. Yeah. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what I think.
Yeah, I think the Doctor knows that that's the case. I think the next couple of scenes are really emblematic. If you want to talk about the stages of grief, the Doctor is in full-blown delusion mode from this point onwards.
Yes. I think we didn't mention this, but I think it is quite key to say. Earlier, the Doctor was talking to the Sister of Khan in the cloisters. This is before the whole episode kicked off, really.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how the Doctor was acting and what he was doing and stuff, and she specifically said I can't remember what the exact line is, but it's just basically saying that he's being cruel and he's being cowardly.
Yes.
I think it was when they was talking about how he sent Rassilon away. Basically.
Yeah, was that cruel? Was that cruelty or cowardice? They think she said, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think she said that, but something like that.
Oh. Well, it was something I want to be right.
No, you're wrong.
But yeah, so the Doctor disappears into the TARDIS, and then they say where's he going? And the Sister of Khan just has a great line that's very that's the show distilled into nothing, right? Distilled into one line. Sorry, he's running away, just away.
Yeah,
that's what the Doctor does all the time. But in this specific context, he's just running away from the people that tell him you can't have Clara back.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have a plan. And the fact that he's he kind of just makes one up on the spot.
So they're flying away in the TARDIS, and then there's this kind of boomf moment, I guess, as they break free of Gallifrey's time zone, I think it is what they say. And then the Doctor's like, right, check your pulse, should have restarted. And then he's got this real sense of bravado about him. He's really on top of the moon at this moment, because he thinks he's fucking done it. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's got everything he wanted. He's like, we just need to shake the Time Lords off, and then we can do whatever you want. Lunch followed by breakfast, because we're time travelers. That's how we roll, baby.
It's the way he claps his hand and he does all these hand gestures. That's just how we roll. And I'm like,
yes,
brother, you.
And he's we'll have cocktails with Moses, and we'll invent a flying submarine. And why? Because no one ever has, and it's annoying that no one ever has. He's really got this huge sense of bravado about him. There's just it's a little unfounded, and it's a little unearned and just not quite right, because while all this is going on, Clara's checking her pulse, and you can tell that something's not quite right there. Really.
Something is very wrong. The fact that the way the Doctor is doing this, Capaldi sells it really well, because it's not typical Doctor bravado. He's convincing himself things are going to be fine from this point onwards.
I think there is also something to say, again, what we were saying earlier, moments when things are not quite right. Clara stepping into the extraction chamber, again, classic sci-fi, clinical, white, stepped into this TARDIS.
Yeah.
Same sort of look, same sort of vibe.
That's so true. Yeah. Just this...
things aren't quite right here. We're acting as if they are, but there's this underlying tension underneath that it's not quite as it should be.
Well, it's not their TARDIS.
Exactly. It's Clara and the Doctor in the TARDIS, but they're not in their TARDIS.
Exactly.
They're not in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like that thing. It's like everything seems well, but there's something that's wildly out of place and wrong. Clara's alive, but it feels sterile and strange, and the Doctor's looking at her weird. And then
Clara's alive, but she's not.
Yeah.
She's between heartbeats. She doesn't have a pulse, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder what could possibly be wrong about this. Like, I don't know, man. So this is when the Clara starts questioning the Doctor a little bit, because she's checking her pulse and all while the Doctor's doing his bravado. It keeps coming back to her, and you can clearly see that she's like, I'm just not feeling anything. I'm not feeling it. I don't know what's happening. Because she believes him. Yeah, she believes that this would work, and then there's this wonderful moment where the Doctor snaps a little bit, and he's like, it will work, or don't you trust me anymore? And Clara, I think, realizes in that moment, like, this is not working, is it?
Is that where he says the universe is over? He doesn't get a say anymore. Is that what he says?
It's pretty close to this, but it comes after Clara grills him a little bit about, like, what did the General mean by time's going to fracture and all of this stuff.
Okay. Yeah. She says, what if one last heartbeat is all I've got? What if the universe needs me to die? And then it's like, the universe is over. It doesn't have a say anymore. We're standing on the last ember, the last fragment of everything that ever was. As of this moment, I am answerable to no one. Now, who does that remind us of?
Right, I want to take a moment here, because I've been very, very vocal about my favourite era of the show being RTD1. I've been very vocal about my love for Ten and Donna and their relationship, and Ten in general, and his characterisation throughout Series 4 and the specials, and how his ego grows to the point of no return. And the 4 Nox thing is a wonderful distillation of, like, you gone too far, brother, you need to dial it fucking back, right? And I will just say that firstly, the 4 Nox thing just... as a fan, it obliterated me. I was like, hell yeah. This is sick ass writing. And then I came to realize that when Ten received the 4 Nox, the only thing I really cared about was Ten regenerating, right? But I care, when the 4 Nox show up in this, I care way more. It was way more of a devastating blow that it's like, because that 4 Nox didn't come with, you've got to dial it back, save Wilf, regenerate, live to see another day. It came with, dial it back, you've gone too far, Clara's gotta go, brother. And I was like, there's no upside to this. This is all bad news. And I just thought, what a wonderful revisiting of something that the show connected with me on years and years ago. And now I'd just love to see it brought back in a way that is possibly even more emotionally impactful and investing for me.
I mean, for me, there's no question. It just is.
Yeah, I know.
It just straight up is. Because to me, like, we've talked about this to death, but Ten's is all about ego. Okay, at the end of the day, his ultimate crisis boils down to ego, really, which really takes some of the shine off it when you think about it. Really, you're gonna become a different bloke. Oh well, shit happens.
There is that moment where Wilf's like, I've had my time, and the Doctor's like, exactly, because I've got nice hair. I don't want to die.
And I'm being a little bit facetious there. I know there's more to it than that. I'm speaking broadly, but ultimately, it is ego. And this, it's the complete opposite of that. It's the Doctor doing all of this, going way beyond what he should be doing, the whole Time Lord Victoria shtick for Clara, for which he should not be doing again. It's not something he should be doing.
No, but at least it's selfless and not selfish.
But it's more selfless in this version, and I quite enjoy that.
I completely agree. It's a phenomenal fucking scene. It's a way to revisit the past and add something new to it, a different flavour. And not the only thing that they do. There's a whole, recalling back to Donna's memories getting wiped in a bit as well.
He does mention that.
Yeah, it's not unintentional, and it's not recycling a plot device. It's the Doctor examining his past actions and going, I fucking dropped the ball there, I think, on both accounts. It's funny that it's both 10. But yeah, so again, I will be honest, I'll be glad when the show puts this to bed, this specific tactic. When I don't think it would come up again after this episode, unless I'm very wrong. But the Clara's like, who's outside? And the Doctor's like, me. And then it's not him. And I'm like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
I know why you named her me.
I don't think it ever comes up again. So.
It's fun while it lasts. But this was the one I just went, fucking, all right. I get it now.
Yeah. So Game of Thrones is out there.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm Game of Thrones. Welcome to the end of the universe, basically.
Looks great. Set looks amazing.
Looks beautiful. There's like the big comfy leather chairs and that like a glowing light, which is like stars burning out and dying and shit.
Yeah. She's got a chessboard. I thought they were going to do some chess.
Yeah, she's got some kind of chess game going on, but clearly hasn't been playing with anyone because she says like all the other immortals are dead now. She's just the last one. It's just me.
Yeah. And he's like, you have earned the title, the official me.
So they have a bit of chat. They talk. There's a bit of back and forth and stuff. And, you know, I like how she talks about Clara died billions of years ago. Yeah. And it was beautiful and it was sad and all this kind of stuff as well. And the Doctor's just like blank fucking refusal. Like, no, she's here. She's safe. It's all going to be okay and stuff. And then they talk about the hybrid and stuff.
Yes.
I imagine you got something to say. Yeah.
I have got something to say. So I posited 2 theories, both of which came up, as you can tell.
Both of which were referenced. Yes. So first of all, a Shielder posits, not a Shielder, whatever the fuck. Game of Thrones posits. What if, these 2 warrior races, you always spend a lot of time on Earth, don't you, Doctor? Like, why is it you keep going back to that lovely planet? What if you're the hybrid,
Yeah. And he's like, I'm not, and Lawrence is dumb. Straight away.
Yeah. He did, like, it's weird, because it's kind of referencing it, but not really. They never, like, kind of explicitly mention the Doctor being half human or anything. They never, they just brush that past a little bit. They're like...
The other thing being true doesn't disprove that this could also not be true. Like...
I don't necessarily think it is true.
They're never going to say it.
They kind of have in other ways. They kind of in stuff that's to come. But I don't really think the Doctor is half human. But that's
I don't either. But I do like that. I quite like just not completely disregarding something and keeping a vague ambiguity around it.
Yeah, sure.
Especially in Doctor Who, the rules change every fucking day.
I mean, yeah, that is true. But
but then also, I'm knowing one very controversial choice that immediately disproves all of it. Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying. When but that's the storyline to come.
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
We'll get to that. But anyway, so yes, so
is this the bit where she's like, oh no, I think it's before this. I just wanted to touch on this very briefly. The I really, really like the writing of the me saying that the stars going out is beautiful and sad, and the Doctor can only see it as sad. And me rightfully brings up, it's like exactly right. You're too one-track minded. You can't fucking see that there's beauty in things ending. And I like how this is a testament to how the Doctor can only see Clara's death as needless and a waste, rather than a beautiful. 100%. A beautiful testament to Clara's strength of character, that she would sacrifice herself for some guy that she doesn't know all that well, and that's exactly what he would do as well.
Yeah, 100%. He only sees it as a loss to him,
exactly.
alone, and that's it. He can't see it as anything else, really.
100%.
Which is fair. But
it's pure devotion and it's love. But love's messy and is wrong sometimes.
But it's also it's unhealthy as well, which is the bottom line of this.
There's never been more toxic exes, Nathan.
Yes. Anyway, then Game of Thrones posits the other theory. She's like, what if the hybrid isn't one person but 2?
And what if Lawrence is smart and clever and cool?
No, you don't know.
I did know. I knew.
You don't know. You don't know.
I mean, I don't think it was that tough to guess. I wasn't sure on it because, you always want to leave a little bit back in case you're wildly wrong. But I think the show has been building to these 2 being like too close of a counterpart. Like Me's got a line about how it's a dangerous combination of a powerful and passionate Time Lord and a companion so similar and so alike to him. And that makes sense.
And references how they were brought together by Missy, the lover of chaos.
I was like, I'd forgot about this plot thread. Great stuff. Yeah,
but it makes perfect sense though as well.
Completely. Yeah, because Missy spent the entire time with the Doctor being like, just kill someone, be cool. Be cool like me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she wins. He does kill someone. He shoots a man with a gun.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of the answer to it. And the hybrid is the Doctor and Clara. It's this. It's a relationship. It's a I would say, a love so powerful that they would do anything, and the Doctor has proved this, like in this whole episode, he would go to the ends of the earth to bring her, the ends of the universe to bring her back to. He breaks all his own codes. He would stand in the ruins of Gallifrey if it meant that Clara was by his side again,
and that's
even if she had no heartbeat and wasn't necessarily alive. You know, he would take that slightly inhuman version of her, you know?
Yeah, just because it would not satisfy him, but like he'd be able to sleep with himself at night as well and have a copy of her at least. I think that the General said it earlier, like you just said there as well. Stand in the ruins of Gallifrey, and also like unravel the web of time itself. Come on, these two are going to do absolutely anything for each other, and it's terrifying for everyone around them that just wants to 100%. Live their day out without, I don't know, having time itself ripped out from under them.
And the Doctor realizes that. He's like, yeah, I get it. Okay, I've gone too far here. I get it. That's why I got the neuro blocker. Okay, like, and Clara is watching on the screen at this point as well. Clara's put the glasses on. She's watching on the screen.
The weird classic TARDIS has a TV rig in the corner of the room.
Yeah, which I think it did.
Yeah, no, it probably did, but it's just a weird place.
Probably not a flat screen like this. I would have had a screen somewhere.
I'm so used to seeing it on the console as something to slide around. It's strange.
I think the actual thing that's the actual thing that's on the screen, the blue Gallifreyan text, I think that was always what was on the screen in 10's TARDIS that era.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's definitely not what's on Capaldi's TARDIS.
No.
So, yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So Clara's watching, and then he's talking about how he's gonna wipe her memory. Yeah, I've done it before. I usually do it telepathically, but I kind of fucked up, so I'll do it properly this time and stuff. Anyway, let's go say hi to Clara.
Yeah, let's go tell Clara, who I'm sure has not been listening.
Love this moment so much. I love that Clara quickly fucking stops. She hides so she doesn't get caught. Basically, she stops the TV, turns it off, puts everything back in its place. Okay, and looks so fucking guilty at the moment the Doctor walks in. Looks so guilty, and then the Doctor's like, "You remember a shielder?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." And he's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be more surprised to see it." And then she just immediately confesses as well. Cannot hold it in, cannot lie to him, just immediately like, I was watching on the screen, I saw everything you said. And stuff.
I don't want my memory, please. I like this, man. I like this is Clara. There's a part of Clara that I wrote this down. I'm curious to explore it with you because I don't know if I fully believe it, but there's a part of Clara that seems genuinely quite scared of the Doctor and the power that he wields in this scene. And I want to clarify, not scared of him as a person as through their connection, but she's terrified of what he could do by taking her memory from her.
I think she's more scared of having her memory taken from her, personally. Okay. I think that's just how I take it. I always take it because she says, she has a big moment where she says tomorrow's promised to no one, but I insist upon my past. My memories are mine and stuff, and please don't take them from me. She says, these have been the best years of my life, and they are mine. She's quite adamant in that she doesn't want to lose her memory. To her, that is worse than death. Losing her memory is so much worse. She would much rather go back and face the Raven rather than have her memories taken from her.
Die as yourself rather than limp on as this kind of half version of you.
She would 100% rather die with her memories of the Doctor and their adventures together rather than go on and live and be someone else without them.
Which is kind of like it's a direct examination from, I guess, Moffat's reaction to Russell's ending with Donna. Because it's very much 10 does completely strip away Donna's agency, and I know that's something that's a problem some people have with it. It's played for tragedy, and it's no one's happy about it, right? But there is absolutely a tragedy in the fact that the moment of Donna, I'm off now. Yeah, see ya. That's so sad. Not because Donna's not going to be on our screens anymore, but it's Donna is a shell of who she grew to be, and I feel like to do that again to Clara would just be a complete unraveling of what I think, like you keep referring to, as one of the greatest love stories of the show, but possibly in fiction. I think it's phenomenal.
to be fair, Donna would have died if he didn't.
Well, say that.
But also, that's the scenario which Russell wrote, though, as well. So.
Yeah, he wrote that scenario. And also, Nathan, maybe we don't understand because we're male presenting.
No.
But do you know what I'm saying? Though I think it's a more ethical way of doing this and more attuned to 12 and Clara's dynamic that they would choose a more chaotic version of this, which we'll get into.
I mean, it's very chaotic. Clara's like, well, fucking look, I did what you did. I fucking reversed the polarity. Good joke, by the way.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even know if you can.
She's like, yeah, you fucking use that on me, it'll go off in your face. So it's kind of a gamble. It's a 50-50. It's a roll of the dice, a throw of the coin. One of us is going to lose our memory. Let's kind of see which one it is. And I like this. I've seen some criticisms of like, you know, why does Clara suddenly just accept it, you know? And I don't think it is necessarily. I can see why you would see that, but I don't think it's necessarily just her suddenly accept it. I think it's compromising for someone you love.
I do too.
I think it's both of them realizing that this cannot go on. And the Doctor even says, you know, look what's happened, okay?
Yeah.
Look what I've done. I broke all my own rules. You know, look how far I went for fear of losing you. We're at the end of the universe, for fuck's sake, okay? Like, it just cannot go on like this. They have become the toxic, unhealthy hybrid monster that is destined to destroy time for each other. And it's so interesting and rich and fascinating. I don't understand how you don't like Clara. I don't. Yeah. I'm sorry. You're welcome to your opinion, but it's wrong.
Yeah. Right? I'm saying this as a reformed Clara. No, well, I can't even say I hate it because, again, hadn't explored it, hadn't engaged with it in good faith, right? But just when you open your eyes to it, this is a fascinatingly beautiful story.
So fascinating. Yeah. Like a doctor companion, I won't even call it a love, but just a relationship that's so rich and they're so unhealthily attached to each other that they go to these lengths, you know?
Yeah.
And the
even
only
if you
way,
don't buy into the love stuff. Like,
even if you don't, it's so rich and fascinating. Like, why wouldn't you want interesting storytelling like that, you know?
Yeah, That's what I'm saying. That's what I like. I always want to say, right? Just I'd much rather have an interesting story than a perfect character or like a let's get another comedian on the TARDIS to be the companion. Like, no, what if we got a dramatic actor that can carry their weight on the show, hold their own against seasoned vet Capaldi, and really drum home some of the best storytelling the show's ever seen.
100%.
Yeah.
And hey, the results speak for themselves.
Why don't we get the guy from The Chase on? That's what I think. That's what I think, Nathan.
Yeah.
Why don't we make it crystal clear that you can never connect with this character because you'll always think that's that guy from The fucking Chase?
I don't think that's Bradley Walsh's fault.
I know it's not, but they cast him.
All right, yeah, I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, this guy hosts The Chase, so he can never do anything else.
No, but there are certain people that you just like. All right, Gordon Ramsay's the next Doctor Who companion.
I don't mind Graham.
I don't mind Graham. Anyway, we'll get to it, Nathan.
That's another era, all right?
Oh, we'll get to it. But yeah, so like they say, it's look how far the Doctor went for fear of losing her. This is one of them has to go, and I think they both just acknowledge it. And it's not like Clara doesn't flip and go, all right, then you're right. She's like devastated by it.
Yeah.
But they both are. They're both smiling through just the most unbearable amount of pain in this scene.
I love the moment as well where they're like, what if we just fly away somewhere? Aww. You know, wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't it be great to just fly away somewhere, do something together? And they're like, yeah, that would be nice. You know, just this really sweet moment between the two of them as they're laughing, they're crying, they're having this like little moment as they then do the neuro block and stuff, and then they're like, what happens now?
Yeah,
is that it? Are we good? You know, I was when I first watched this, they had me and then they had me again. All right.
Okay.
They double had me because Clara says, and one of us will.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever forget you. And I was like, oh, she's losing her memory.
Yeah,
oh, fuck, no, no. But then they double got me because then the doctor had that slow look on his face and was like, Clara, I don't think you're ever going to have to, you know? What a moment.
What a moment when this is now the flip of we understand it's the doctor in the fucking that's clueless in the diner and stuff. And just yeah, man. I think it's the culmination of the Doctor's multi-season long arc, right? It should be the Doctor. It should absolutely be the Doctor over Clara.
Of course it should.
Clara literally died. She give her some in, and I think the Doctor needs it's not even necessarily a humbling. It's just I don't know. It's this. He needs to chill out. It's him that needs to calm down. Like Clara's capable of a lot, but my God, the Doctor could literally burn the universe to save her. It's him that needs to, and also he would never let her go. Like we've seen to the tune of 4.5 fucking billion years that he just wouldn't accept it. Even if she went away not knowing who he was, he'd spend the rest of his entire life trying to reverse that somehow.
Yeah, 100%.
It needs to be him. Absolutely, it does. Narratively, more than anything.
So this is a heartbreaking moment, and like he falls to the floor and is like, "Run like hell, because you'll always need to laugh at everything because it's always funny." And Clara's like, "No, you're saying goodbye. Don't do that. Don't say goodbye." I love that he says, "Never be cruel, never be cowardly, but if you are, always make amends."
Yeah.
Okay. I love that little addendum to that.
It's great. It's firstly, obviously, it's the Doctor mantra. It's he's telling her. It's the culmination of her arc. Go and be better than me.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's great stuff. And I
never
like that
eat pears. They're too squishy and they always make your chin wet. That one's quite important. Write it down.
It's true as well.
Yeah. I love that he ends it on a fucking joke.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He ends it on the most heartbreaking joke you've ever fucking heard. He's like, will you smile for me? One last time, just smile for me. And she's like, how the fuck can I smile at this moment? Yeah. And he just goes, don't worry, I'll remember it.
See, it's interesting. I get that there's an irony to that, right? But I also think it's, again, just a showcase of just this this pure love that transcends everything else. Like, there's a part of you that believes in the recesses of 12's mind, in the back of his head, yeah, he will remember it.
Like he believes he'll remember it.
I think so. Yeah, I think he does. And then, and then the saddest thing ever in the fucking world happens.
The most heartbreaking moment in all of cinema, which we'll get to. Okay?
That Martin Scorsese meme, but it's absolute kill myself.
Anyway, then the Doctor wakes up on Nevada. Some bloke is like, you all right, mate? What's going on?
This is another moment, right, where I think editing plays a really good part in this, right? Where, because, everything fades to white and some American cunt's in the Doctor's face and he's like, hey there. And, just before it fully realizes on him, just this flash of Clara peeks through again before it disappears.
One last flash of Clara.
It's literally like the Doctor's holding on and he has to let it go.
Yeah.
And then this guy's like, hey there, you all right there, buddy? Well, I'm here because Clara said you might be a bit fucked up or whatever. That's
a really bad accent, by the way.
That's what he says.
That's one of your worst, by the way. The guy said, Clara asked me to look after you. She said you might be a bit upset. And the Doctor's like, Clara? And then he goes, yeah, she was just here. I don't know where she went. And then he goes, Clara? Clara who?
And then I punched the air and screamed, yeah.
I cheered.
Clara Who is awesome.
Clara Who is I see what you're doing
Yeah.
there.
Because she's the Doctor.
She's Doctor Who.
Yeah, she's Doctor
Anyway, then it's back to Clara and the Doctor talking in the diner once again. And then he's like, I know we traveled together. There was an ice warrior on a submarine and a mummy on the Orient Express. Yeah. I know we sat together in the cloisters and she told me something very important, but I have no idea what she said. Yeah. Or what she looked like, or how she talked, or laughed. There's nothing there.
It's fucking horrendous. With the added note that this is now Clara, and also Clara's special place, not just a random diner.
Well, we don't know that yet.
No, we don't know it yet, but recontextualizing the beginning of the episode, the radio that the Doctor then hijacks for his guitar riff to play Clara is playing the jazz mix of the Mummy on the Orient Express.
Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, the Queen song. Yeah. Awesome. Clara's just having a little stroll down memory lane.
Very much so. Yeah.
And you believe that she could have gone there and got it. Like, it's not like a weird thing that she would have had to like just that's what the show did it or whatever. Like,
but it was a live band in that one.
Yeah, but it's not I recorded it. It was something.
Okay.
You know that guy, the guy that was like, I'm on this thing and I'm watching you all or whatever.
Gus.
Yeah, that's it. Gus.
Yeah.
Was Gus supposed to come back?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like Gus was set up for something.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this should have all been Gus. It should have been revealed as Gus's fault at the end.
No, I don't think so.
I'm the Gus breed. It's hybrid for.
Don't worry about it. Stop it. Anyway, yeah, Clara's like, she could be anyone. You don't know who you're looking for. I mean, she could be me, for all you know. And the doctor says, there's one thing I know about her. Just one thing. If I met her again, I would absolutely know. Just kill me.
Kill me now.
Kill me with a gun.
Shoot me in the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see Clara's face at that moment. Like, she tries to remain brave, and then the doctor turns away, and then she she
breaks.
Like, yeah, she fully breaks at that moment. Like, that's fucking gotta sting. Like,
I love this for what it means for the doctor, and how we've spoken so many times, and the moment I love in the Last Christmas ending where he'd recognize Clara anywhere. Clara always looks the same to him. He'll never see a flaw in her face, whatever. Right, that stuff. Yeah, obviously it breaks all of that, and it's fucking heartbreaking. But the thing that I really liked about this, especially after just saying Clara who as well, is it completes Clara's arc into being the Doctor now. I think.
Yeah,
there's an element to, if you think back to their first story together, 12 and Clara, not 11 and Clara. To wear a face that is completely unfamiliar to your closest people, like to stand in front of someone and not truly be seen. If we recall the Doctor saying, you look at me and you can't see me. And now that's Clara. Clara's found herself in that exact same position, and it's a fucking heartbreaking parallel to flip that switch.
Very much so.
And just, I thought about it, and then I clocked it on my second watch too, and I just went like, this is 10 times sadder than I thought it was originally.
It's so sad. The whole thing is so fucking heartbreaking and brutal. And even at that moment, the Doctor's like, I've been here before, haven't I? We was here. I'm sure we was here. Amy and Rory.
Yeah.
Because it was Amy and Rory.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Although while we're here, why is Clara's TARDIS the Amy and Rory diner?
I don't fucking know.
Is it just the chameleon circuit thing?
Yeah, it's just chameleon. It blends into what it fucking should be. I don't know. Shenanigans. Okay. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clara asks them, "Where's his TARDIS? What about your TARDIS? Have you found it?" Completely, by the way, dropping this facade of she doesn't know anything.
Yeah,
she doesn't know like space stuff or anything. But the Doctor doesn't pick up on it at all
because he's so used to just talking at people.
Yeah. He's like, someone's moved it. I'm still looking for it.
Yeah,
this diner wasn't always here, was it? Like he's not paying attention. He's just so focused and blindsided.
This is like, again, it's a testament to he doesn't listen this hard when it's not Clara talking to him.
Exactly. Yeah. And she says, well, maybe someone will find your TARDIS for you. He starts to play the Clara theme again. No. He starts to play the Clara theme, and then she's like, what Clara told you in the cloisters, you said memories become stories when we forget them. Maybe some of them become songs. What just a beautiful sentiment, you know?
Yeah.
What a really just beautiful way to sum all that up. And then he's just like, that would be nice, as he starts to play it more on the guitar.
Yeah.
And then, Clara has this, like, longing look. She, like, kind of just takes one last look at him, I guess. Like, it would be nice, wouldn't it? And then she opens the door, and that's where we see it is the TARDIS.
It's the classic TARDIS, yeah.
It's the classic TARDIS, and she steps into it, and there we go. She's
off. And then it just dematerializes around the Doctor, and he's got the most bewildered look a man has ever had. What the fuck?
Yeah. And his TARDIS is there. Then he sees his TARDIS, and I think it's key that Riggsy's artwork is still on the TARDIS as well.
I do too.
And he sees what is clearly the memorial to Clara. And he sees her. He sees Clara.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you think that does to him?
All manner of stuff.
Yeah, right?
All manner of insane stuff.
Fucking cruel.
It is cruel, and it's about to get crueler. Because he goes into the TARDIS. I said it last week. Great slow power-up of TARDIS moment in this scene. Great. the slowly coming back to life of the TARDIS, the slow resurrection, the lights powering on and stuff, the as they all come on and stuff. Beautiful. Love it. He walks up the stairs and there's a chalkboard and it says, "Run, you clever boy." It doesn't say "remember me."
No.
It says, "and be a doctor," or "be the doctor." I can't remember which one, but one of them.
Just the lack of... come on, man.
It doesn't say "remember me" because he can't.
He can't. He's not gonna.
Yeah, he can't. He can't. Yeah, that's it.
Jesus Christ, man. This is... it's a beautiful scene for all manner of things. Firstly, the tooling up sequence that the Doctor gets, where he reclaims the velvet coat. He gets a new screwdriver, which looks dope as fuck.
TARDIS gives him a screwdriver. Yeah, he's got a new little cool screwdriver. We'll see more of that next season and stuff.
R.I.P. to the Sonic. But then did Clara take the Sunnies?
He had the Sonic sunglasses in the diner, but maybe she did take them. I don't know.
Look over there, just nabbed them off the counter.
I mean, maybe she could have,
Maybe when she dematerialized the TARDIS, it just, they're gone.
Yeah, maybe.
You shouldn't have left them on the counter.
But there's a little scene with Clara and Game of Thrones in their TARDIS, and they're like, I think it's a bit egregious that like Game of Thrones is like, oh, the chameleon circuit's broke, it's gonna be stuck as a diner. I don't know if I needed that.
No,
but,
I didn't need that either. And also, the flying diner looks dumb as fuck.
Yeah, it does look dumb, but so does a flying police box. It's only because you're used to it.
That's what I thought. I thought, you know what, I would say the exact same thing if it was someone showed me a flying blue phone box today. But here I am, like a dumb idiot with a model TARDIS on my desk. So what do I know?
Exactly. Anyway, so yeah. Off they go. They say they basically reiterate that. So they go back to Gallifrey, and the Time Lords can put her back on Trap Street, and she can face the Raven. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Game of Thrones is like, sorry, and she's like, why? It's fine, it's fucking, everyone's always sorry, but no,
I've already
we all
done it.
face the Raven in the end, and that's the deal, So off they go. And then they're like, mind you though, I'm not actually agent, so maybe we've got a bit of wiggle room here.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are we going? And then Clara goes, like I said, Gallifrey, the long way around.
Yeah.
And off they go. They fly into space.
Now, I would put my 2 cents in here and say that this is beautiful and a perfect culmination of an arc where two characters, still face immense consequences in that they're separated and Clara still has to die. It's factual that Clara still has to meet her fate on the same place at the same day. And the Doctor's obviously faced the bigger consequence of the two, which is that he is now separated from her and has no memory of his intense relationship with her. You said it earlier. I would guess that people don't like the fact that Clara's death is, quote, undone in their eyes.
I think so. I think that's the biggest problem people have with it, and
it's not undone though.
This scene with them like flying off, just implying that Clara goes on to live forever, but it's
not what's implied though, is it?
That's not the case, because we know we see her death. It happened. We see it. Okay, but regardless of that. And
she can't be doing any of this. It's the bootstrap thing. She can't do any of this without her dying.
Yes. So yes, she can go off and have 10,000 years worth of adventures before she's back on Trap Street. But she will be back on Trap Street.
Yeah.
Even if it takes 10,000 years, even if it takes 1,000,000 years. Frankly, I don't give a fuck how long it takes. Okay.
Yeah.
She will be back on Trap Street. Okay. And I think that's the problem people have with it. And I'll say this. Up until when I watched this episode this week for the first time, I was never necessarily a fan of this scene. Okay?
Oh, really? Okay.
Whenever I spoke about Hellbent and watched this episode, I always think it's a near perfect episode. I would just take out that scene of Clara in the TARDIS at the end. Okay. I would have it be, you see her open the door, you see Maisie Williams in the background, you close the door, that's the last you see of Clara. Okay. That's how I would have had it. I fundamentally disagree with myself. Okay.
So you're working for both.
I fundamentally changed. Well, it was the idea of, I think it just lessened the impact a little bit. Okay. I think that was where I was at before. I think
of her death.
Yes. I think seeing Clara, knowing there's kind of wiggle room between this and the death and stuff, and seeing her flying off and stuff, I think it kind of lessened the impact. But I've been thinking a lot about it over the past few days, and since I watched it, and I think now it's so fundamental to Doctor Who, and I think specifically to Stephen Moffat's era of Doctor Who as well. I think it's so ingrained in what the show is that it should be there and it deserves to be there. I think, and we may hear this in the thoughts section, but I think the argument can be that Clara doesn't necessarily face consequences and stuff for what she does, but she does. We see her death happens. Okay, whether or not there's an X amount of time in between this and that, we have seen her death, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't change. Time doesn't change. She doesn't find a way out of it. It's a fixed point, and it happens, okay?
Yeah.
Clara dies on Trap Street, okay? She faces the Raven. It hits her. We know at some point that she goes back to it. Even if it's 10 million years between now and then, it still happens, okay? And then I was thinking about... I won't go too much into this because I don't want to spoil season 10 for you, okay?
Okay.
But some of the discussion is that Moffat has a hard time actually killing off companions, okay?
Okay.
Because if you look at what happens with Amy and Rory, it's a death, but not really.
They leave the show, but they go and die in old age somewhere else. Like
yes. And Clara, it's a death, but not really. And again, I just won't go into season 10. But,
okay, sure.
And I think yes, that is true. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong? Why do we need to have companions die?
Yeah.
I think it's to the core of Doctor Who, and specifically Stephen Moffat's era of Doctor Who, which is so fairy tale and magical. And I always talk about Doctor Who magic, and I think this is very much a part of that, okay? Why should we have a companion die? What is it not, I don't know, nice that they get to have what they've always wanted? Because that's how I see it. I think Amy gets to have exactly what she wanted in the end, which was a life with Rory, living out her life with Rory. As the show went on, we saw that Rory was her true love, and she wanted to have her life and relationship with him, and she made that choice, and she chose him over the Doctor. Okay, and she got to live out the rest of her days with her husband in New York. Okay. Clara, look, for fucking better or worse, okay, she wanted to be the Doctor.
Yeah.
And she got it.
She got it. She got it big time.
She got it. She got a TARDIS. She got a, X amount of lifespan or whatever. She's has adventures, okay? Yeah, she's not with the Doctor, but she has become the Doctor. And look, you can say that's for better or worse, whatever. I'm not here to argue that. I'm here to just say that the companions, they leave the show. There is a departure, a quote unquote death, but it's more than that. They get rewarded. They get what they want. Yeah. And I think there's also something to say about because I know people have spoken about how Clara should kind of face consequences for her actions. But then the more I think about that, I'm like, I don't know if she should, because what you're essentially saying there is Clara should be punished for trying to be the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that really sits well with me. What kind of message is that if we're punishing Clara for doing what the Doctor does week in, week out? I mean, yes, of course,
never be cruel, never be a coward.
The show, the show at certain points does kind of chastise Clara for it, and the Doctor does say, Clara, I'm nothing but a less breakable version of you, and all this kind of stuff. And she's not a Time Lord and this kind of stuff, and I get that, but I don't know, there's just something about the idea of Clara being punished for being the Doctor, for daring to step out of her own boundaries, which doesn't sit right with me, quite frankly.
If I'm honest, I think that's an amazing way of putting it. Why, you can't end your show with a message of don't aspire to be better.
Yeah, don't aspire to be the Doctor.
This is a cautionary tale. Don't dare step out of your station.
Don't do what the Doctor did in this episode. Sure.
Yeah.
Don't be. But again, the Doctor wasn't the Doctor in this episode. He dropped that title for this stuff. So I don't know. It's confusing, but I just feel, to me, and this is just my opinion, but it's my podcast, so fuck you. I just think it's so fundamental to specifically this era of the show. This is the magical, the fairy tale, the Stephen Moffat era, and to me that is ingrained in it. And eras will come and go. Eras can change. Eras should change. Stephen Moffat himself, at the end of the recent Doctor Who Unleashed, the 20 years Who celebration, he said change is fundamental to the show. If it doesn't change, it becomes stagnant and it dies. Okay. Maybe listen to someone, but who cares? It should grow and evolve, and people involved in it should move on to do other stuff and bring in new people and stuff, and it should change and evolve. But I think
what you're saying about the reward as well, like, yeah, it's rewarding, but it's not like people, like the people that are vying for like Clara, like, there should have been more weight to her choice and stuff. Like, there's serious ramifications and consequences.
Yeah, I think so.
Her time with the Doctor is cut short. A man punched a wall for 4.5 billion years because of one decision Clara made. Like, if that's not consequence for the people that Clara loves and for Clara herself, I don't really know what is. Like, it's not. Clara, got a bird flew into Clara and she died and then she stayed dead forever. How narratively unsatisfying is that? If she dies there and then, yes, it's the culmination to an arc of Clara wanted to be like the Doctor and flew a bit too close to the sun. But it kneecaps it there and then. The Doctor can't save her. The Doctor can't fly above his station to break all of his rules, to go too far, showing that undying love for her. Like, that's not narratively satisfying. It's shocking.
100%. Yeah. If it ended with Face the Raven and there was no Heaven Sent or Hell Bent dog shit.
What are we doing here? Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like,
it's like,
come on.
Like, people went, like Jon Snow famously dies in Series 5 of Game of Thrones, and everyone
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry, he does. I mean, it's a very famous death. That's fine.
I was joking.
Yeah, well, good. They should have seen it, right? But look, Jon Snow dies, and people go like, wow, that's so shocking. That's so shocking. I can't believe that the show did that. The show really doesn't pull any punches, right? Yeah, great. The show pulled some the show didn't pull any punches, but it's narratively unsatisfying, which is why they were forced to bring him back and resurrect him so that he can go on and not fulfill any of his plot lines. But that's the show's fault later on. The point is they brought him back because if they'd killed him there and then, the audience would not be satisfied with his story.
I think he's still dead in the book.
He might still be dead in the book, but that
because I think the book is at that point though. The book is like no more books have come out since then.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I
remember watching his death scene like fucking 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure the last book ended with Jon Snow dying. I don't know. I haven't read them. Catherine has, unless Catherine she knows. Yeah, but I don't know.
I tried to chat through that first book, and I went no.
Brother, we all did. Anyway.
It's not for me. It's still on my shelf. I'm looking at it right now, but it's just not for me.
No books are for you, though, to be fair.
No, it's true. Unless they're the Oppenheimer script.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, what's happened? There's a couple of more.
Anyway, I'll get off my high horse now. I just wanted to say that.
No, that's fair. It's like you say, it's your horse to be on. So.
I just love it. I think it's very thematically rich. It's key to this part of the show, this era, and it's something it's my personal favorite part of the show. It's the era of the show that I connect with the most personally. So it means quite a lot to me. But yeah, there is.
Yeah. People are welcome to their own opinions, but like something resonates for someone, it resonates for someone. Like,
and that is Series 9, baby.
Well, there's still the fun moment of the Clara's face fading away on the TARDIS mural.
Oh, there is, yes. And I will say that I like how it kind of like the kind of ashes of that mural, they fall away like leaves.
Yes.
They blow like leaves.
Yeah.
They drop like leaves falling to the ground, which is quite nice.
That's very nice and very thematically dense, and we don't have time to get into all that. But like I took it as like a symbolic of the TARDIS essentially shedding Clara's presence here. Like it's respectful. The mural is respectful to their time together, but the Doctor being able to let her go and his devotion to her isn't betrayed, because the only way possible that he could let her go was by forgetting her altogether. It's the TARDIS's way, in my opinion, of like going, let her go. She's gone.
Yeah.
Now, like, lovely stuff.
Very much so. Very much so.
And then the TARDIS and the diner fly off, and I think it looks goofy, but I love it still all the same because they fly off in separate directions, and it's clear that whilst they are no longer traveling together,
journeys.
they're on exactly that. They're on different journeys, but they can't be together. But their commitment to their time together goes on, and they fly off, taking each other's, ironically, memory and presence forward into other people's lives.
Different but equal journeys.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, they're on equal footing at that point.
Which is, to be fair, what the episode has gone on to say that so many times. This episode, they're like it's an equal partnership. Them two. Oh my god!
And that's it. That's the story of Clara. My personal favorite companion.
Yeah.
One I absolutely adore, and I think to this day, the longest serving companion I'm not sure about Classic Who, but definitely in New Who.
Two and a half seasons, it would have to be, yeah.
In terms of episode count specifically, I think she is technically the longest serving companion.
Amy has to be close because she did 5, 6, and half of 7, and Clara did half of 7, 8, and 9.
Yes,
they both locked into
Amy did the shorter half of 7, while Clara did the longer half of 7. I see.
Clara reigns supreme.
Yeah,
it's a technicality, but it counts.
Yes.
I'll tell you what though,
I think Clara there was more specials with Clara, like Daily Doctor and Christmas specials and stuff.
Oh yeah,
well.
Fucking hell, she was the companion that saw out the 50th anniversary.
Saw the 50th anniversary, saw Matt Smith's regeneration, welcomed in 12 and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been part of some
really
big
important
moments.
Character on the show.
Really important character.
Yeah.
Again, my personal favorite companion. I love her to pieces, and it's not just because I have a little crush. Okay.
I think at times it might have been 7B. It might have been that you had a crush on Clara.
No,
I tell you what,
relevant.
Though, I like as someone that is going back and not experiencing this for the first time. Yeah, this is a staggeringly incredible story. A companion and a doctor dynamic has never been so important to the thematic arcs and the stories as a whole. It's rich, it's interesting. These characters are dense and layered, and I'm really gonna fucking miss their dynamic. I'm very excited for a change. I love it when Doctor Who shakes shit up. Right?
There's very much is there stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
We have. I don't know if you know much about Bill, but
I literally know that she's called Bill.
She's called Bill.
Yeah.
So
and I believe
look out.
She's a lesbian.
She is a lesbian.
Hell
right.
Yeah.
So Bill the lesbian is on the way.
That seems cool. Let's just call her Bill the lesbian. That's what her character is, I'm sure.
But look, there's good stuff. But before that, we've got 2 Christmas specials. We got Double Christmas. Double Christmas, because Doctor Who was off for a year, so it was Christmas special followed by Christmas special.
Moffat was still in the pub, presumably celebrating. This incredible arc, yeah.
And fair play to him, you know.
We need the Series 10 scripts. I can't. I'm still in the pub. I'm celebrating.
Yeah, he's in the pub. But yeah, a big episode next week as well. But hey, in the meantime, Weirdo of the Week. Weirdo. This is everyone's favourite section of the show where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every week. Lawrence, pray tell, I am chomping at the bit to know who is your weirdo for this week.
The Time Lords, specifically the council or president that instilled the weird ghost computer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And not just because ghost computers are weird, right?
Yeah.
But for a very specific reason, right? So the various dead Time Lords' minds are streamed into this kind of mega consciousness of ghosts, right? Where their prophecies their algorithms create prophecies, right? And I just think it's very weird and very, true to the Time Lords themselves, that the Time Lords, they go like, divine intervention and gods and stuff. No. If we're getting prophecies, it's coming straight from the source. No one knows better than us Time Lords. So we're going to stuff a bunch of dead cunts in a room. They're going to tell us what to be afraid of, and we're going to be afraid of it. Like,
Yeah,
I just like, I know it comes true with the hybrid stuff, but it's very funny that they just go like, no one knows better than us, and especially the dead ones that died.
that is very funny. Yeah,
just dumb
like
idiots. Nathan, who's your weirdo?
Look, it's a bit of a cop out. I couldn't really think of one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was having a little think, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It's Clara, because when she has a lemonade, she has 2 straws in her lemonade.
My God, that's a cop out.
And look, it's my last chance to have Clara as my weirdo.
That's
Okay?
true. Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that. Yeah.
let me take it. Okay?
I love how we took a week off weirdo for Heaven Sent, because it's just simply it's simply too goated for weirdos. And
Weirdo-less.
And now you come back with the ever so strong Clara for having 2 straws in her lemonade.
Look, I'm not expecting to win the weirdo off this week, all right? But hey, there it is, okay?
There it is. And here is this, Nathan, right? Because it's time for the audience to have their say.
What?
I know. If you're new, you can write in to see the emails. No, you can't see the emails. There are emails. Stay away from them.
There are emails. Let me say as well, I should have mentioned this last week, but I forgot. So I'll mention it this week.
I thought we were going to do this for Series 10. We're going to, like a new series, new email?
Yeah. But I'm just getting people ready, basically.
Yeah.
Just getting people ready, okay? We're going to be phasing out Still Got Legs. What is it?
The Still Got Legs at gmail.com.
Still Got Legs podcast at gmail.com, okay? We're going to be phasing that out, okay? Now on, I think I actually probably still need to set this up on my computer so I can actually access it. But now on, it's thoughts at anotherhappystudios.com, I believe.
I think so.
Let me just double check. What did Pierce say? Fucking hell.
Fuck's sake, Pierce.
Come on, Pierce.
You should have told us right before we press record.
Exactly. Why was this not easily accessible, Pierce?
Wow, Pierce.
Oh, I gotta scroll back through all this chat. Oh my God. He waffles on a bit, doesn't he?
He's always jabbering away.
Thoughts at anotherhappystudios.com. Okay, so look, the Gmail's still gonna be there. If the strays do come through, I'll still be able to pick them up. But the main place for thoughts now is gonna be thoughts at anotherhappystudios.com. Yes, that does mean we're having a website being built in the background. Don't worry about it.
Fucking hell, Pierce. Where's the website?
No, he's doing good work, okay?
Wow, Pierce.
But yes, thoughts at anotherhappystudios.com. Let us know your thoughts on the next episode, upcoming episodes, whatever you want to do. Thoughts at anotherhappystudios.com. You're going to have to change the show notes rather than just copy and pasting them each week.
I'm going to have to do that. I don't want to.
Well,
I like copy and pasting them.
I know, but you got to make a change to them now. Then you can copy and paste that one.
Yeah, true. I did. To be fair, on the YouTube, you set up the YouTube, right?
Yeah, I fucking noticed this.
Yeah, you used to have a little thing at the bottom that says this week our full discussion on Face the Raven. Right.
Yes, yeah.
And every single week I had to change it, and so often I forgot that I eventually just went, fuck this sentence. I'm getting rid of it.
Just removed it entirely, and now it's just copy and pasted from the podcast.
Literally. It's in a notes page I have, and I just go, bloop, bloop, done.
Yeah. I can tell, trust me. Anyway, so thoughts at anotherhappystudios.com. That's the place. Get them in, and we'll, there it is.
Yeah. There you go. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Right. So thoughts this week, Nathan, coming in straight away on the Discord, if you will.
Oh.
Carney Mark II says, firstly, I'm having a 2-for-1 sale on boner pills. And they then go on to say,
I won't be buying them.
No, nor will I. I don't need them. I got strong erections.
You got a baby.
I do have a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Proof.
No one questioned my erections.
I got no proof currently.
No baby for you.
Maybe I do need them.
Maybe you have weak erections.
Maybe.
My wife thinks I put too much of myself out on this podcast.
Yeah, I think so too sometimes. Sometimes, I think it's probably the longer it goes on, you get a bit too comfortable, I think.
I do, because I'm just talking to you.
Yeah, I know, but you're not realising that there's...
Lives forever, doesn't it?
There's other people listening. There's upwards of 4 people listening to this, Lawrence.
Oh, no, that's too many people.
So,
Garney Mark II says Lawrence doesn't need boner pills, and also I fucking hate Maisie Williams' character. Waste of immortality, waste of screen time, and the blandest performance ever. The Chair was giving more of a performance.
Wow, disagree.
Tell him how you really feel, Carney.
Yeah, tell me how you really feel. I disagree. I think Maisie Williams was a good inclusion to the season. I think she was a good foil for the Doctor, a good warning message, a good it was all about. Well, it's not for me to say it was all about this, but I think it's all been it was the start of the Doctor doing what he shouldn't do, basically. It was the start of the whole going down the wrong path.
And also after that, the consequences that kept showing up to remind him there would be some.
It's this haunting presence.
Yes.
This haunting figure to be like, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I think also, I disagree with the majority. I think Maisie Williams' performance in the first episode she was in was a little bit shaky here and there. But in terms of playing me and the immortality and stuff, there's a great line in this when the Doctor's like, and how are you sustaining this reality bubble? And she's like, brilliantly. She's like, fuck you, cunt. I'm smug and I'm cool and I've been around the block. It's cool, I think.
Excuse me.
He swallowed his boner pill down the wrong hole.
Shut up. I really like
erection.
that. Shut up. I really like that conversation she has with 12 at the end of time, sort of saying and stuff. I think it's really good. I think she does a good performance.
Yeah,
you know?
I do too. Now tell us an email.
I like Maisie Williams. I think she's good.
I think she's sometimes she can be weak and stuff.
Maybe is she good in X-Men when not X-Men?
No one knows because no one's seen it.
No one's seen it.
Even we didn't, and we watched them all.
We'll never know. It's impossible to say.
When even we draw the line during X-Mania, that's how you know.
All right, so weirdly enough, we got 0 emails. Okay,
what?
This week. Okay, but we did get some weeks ago when we took a break for thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, so some people did send in thoughts weeks ago. Yeah, weirdly not a single email on Hellbent this week. But, however, a few weeks ago, in April, actually, Ronan Whitehouse wrote in, still got things for Series 9. Hello, boys. I'm unsure as to what episode you're working on currently, so I'm going to give you some general thoughts on Season 9. First of all, I really enjoy two-parters in Doctor Who. I feel the story can be better fleshed out, which is why it's sad that before Dark Water and Death in Heaven, the last two-parter was the Cum Saga. Wow, that's a long go, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's a
long. Is.
Yeah, because Season 7 was all fucking one-offs, wasn't it? It was all.
Oh yeah,
one-parters.
They all had their own posters and shit. I remember.
Yeah. Interesting. But now we have nearly a full series of 2-part stories. How exciting. So without further ado, the Magic's Apprentilla. I think that's putting both of them together.
Yeah, I thought you had a stroke halfway through that sentence.
Yeah, I thought I did too, but I didn't. It's okay. Great episodes with so many quotable lines from Missy. True.
Yeah.
Undor the Flake. I don't like this. Guitar intro was banging. The episode itself was also good. The female who's maybe dead.
Just gave up with that one.
Yeah, bit meh, really, but an interesting take on immortality. The Zygon Inv. Amazing speech as always from Capaldi. Also good episodes. Sleep No More. More like Sleep So Bored. Got him. Yep, Face the Raven, heartbreaking. Heaven Sent, Hell Bent, goated with the source, but source is in the source, source.
Oh, the source code.
Yes, source code. Okay, so there we go. Finally, just wanted to thank you guys, in particular Nathan, for getting my name right in the patron shout out. More people got it wrong than you think. Oh wow. Maybe I got it wrong this time, who knows. And I also noticed you could not resist the urge to read out Barnsley in a Yorkshire accent. So from one Yorkshireman to another, but wood into oil. I'm off out to oh wait, fucking hell, hang on. Put wood into oil, I'm off out. All right, okay. Put wood into oil, I'm off out to town. So they're gone. All right.
I'm so glad I don't read the emails.
I hope that confuses the dirty southerner Lawrence. It did.
Right? Very much so.
Thanks, guys, for making a great podcast. Keep it up. Sent from my Samsung smart fridge.
I like that this has quietly become a joke in the background.
I do too, yeah.
Oh my god, it's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Ronan. That's sick. Thank you very much.
It's fun to think about all the two-parters, like when you wedge them all together like that. Like, yeah, this has been... Mate, Series 9, apart from Sleep No More, really has been a fucking goated run of episodes.
No misses.
Yeah,
no misses.
apart from the one.
My favourite season, okay?
Yeah,
it is.
Maybe this is... I loved... Do you know what? I was thinking this to myself earlier, right? I loved Series 9. I thought to myself, I love Series 9. I also really love Series 8. And then I'm sat there thinking, like, this is a conundrum. And really, what happened there is that I just had two amazing seasons of Doctor Who. I'm like, but which one do I prefer more? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
They're both good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's that SNL sketch where it's like it's like some, like, you know, those like celebrity red carpet who had the best look, shows. There's like an SNL sketch where it's like a version of that, but from like Sweden or somewhere, or maybe it's Canada. I think it might be Canada, or Minnesota, somewhere cold. And anyway, the joke is the hosts are just always like, so which one looked better? Which one was harder? And then they just go, they both look nice, you know.
That's what you want. That's the idea, isn't it? For everyone to be cool and looking good. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. This one comes in from Hugo K, who says there was an interview Moffat gave at one point where he said something like, "I think the best scene in Heaven Sent is in Hellbent," referring to the chat the Doctor and Clara have in the cloisters. When Clara,
you know what? I'd agree.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Where Clara learns the Doctor spent 4.5 billion years in the confession dial because he had a duty of care. It's a cheeky interview answer, but I think that's so right. Heaven Sent is obviously a masterpiece on so many levels, and some people were a bit down on Hellbent when it aired because they were expecting something different from the Gallifrey angle. But I adore this two-parter because Hellbent crashes in on the emotional stakes that Heaven Sent built. Despite all the trappings of Gallifrey, it's ultimately a quiet finale revolving around the Doctor and Clara, weaving emotional arcs built up over seasons ago into a final exit for Jenna Coleman. The cloister conversation kills me every time. Capaldi and Coleman are sublime. The episode... That rhymed. Good stuff. The episode undercuts expectations by having the Doctor be the one that loses his memory, and for my money, it earns the happy ending for Clara. I love the fact that, yes, we know the Doctor and Clara have a loving yet toxic relationship, and the show knows that too. And so it tells a story about how they need to be split up and end that. But why should Clara be the one punished for that? The Doctor is just as culpable, if not more so, since he introduced Clara to this world. So he's the one that has to lose his memory, and Clara outgrows the Doctor and is able to have adventures of her own. It is a perfect ending, in my opinion, and such a strange, perfect, lovely little finale. Yeah, you nailed it, I think, that thought.
100%. Who was that, Hugo?
That was Hugo K, yeah, on Discord.
I believe, I might be wrong here, but is Hugo from California?
I don't know.
I believe Hugo is who I'm thinking of. Hugo is from California. Are they a Patreon?
They are.
Yeah. If it's what I'm thinking of, not to be weird, Hugo, but I saw your Instagram.
What? Okay. This is weird. What are you doing?
This is weird. Okay, I'm not going to say where, but Hugo works at a place that I really want to visit. Okay.
Well, Hugo, set him up. If you can.
Yeah, I don't think they have pretty tight security from what I understand.
Tell me, I'll cut it. I don't want to know.
It's
shit, okay.
In
Oh. Yeah. Ooh.
He's a I think.
Alright, Nathan told me what you do. If it is you, Hugo, if you're the elusive Hugo that we're tracking down. You gotta hook Nathan up. That's cool.
Hook me up, I want to visit.
He
also,
does.
I'm not being weird. Don't worry. I feel weird now.
Hugo is listening to this, right? And that got real weirdly parasocial all of a sudden.
Hugo, if you feel like you want to drop off the picture now, I get it.
Yeah. No, but ultimately, I think what Hugo said, that's like, it's bang on. Yeah, why it's always the companions that suffer, the ones that get their memories wiped. Why can't Clara just be the one that gets the better end of the deal out of this scenario?
100%.
Yeah. I completely agree, Hugo. And now we're going to hear from an email.
And we're also going to visit where you work.
Yeah. Both of us now. You have to hook both of us up.
Yes. This is from Sam Nixon. End of Series 9 thoughts. Hellbent. Do not open until then, or the hordes of Genghis Khan will be released.
Yay.
In other words, spoilers. Hello, my favourite Clara 12 shippers. This is about to be a long one, so strap in. It's not that long. But I don't blame you if you don't read it all out on the podcast. Should I get AI to summarize it?
Yeah, get AI to summarize.
No, I won't do that. I'm writing this well ahead of time as it's hard to keep track of when you're recording at the moment, as my schedule is also all over the place. However, I have found time to watch all of those Series 9 and have some big thoughts on what I once thought was the worst series out of 1 to 10.
Wow.
It is now, obviously, Series 7B. So first things first, suit talk. Nathan, are you high? The Magician's Apprentice outfit is your favorite 12 look? ? I get the sentiment behind it, which is lovely. Capaldi wanted to dress more normally so fans could afford to cosplay, but it's such a mismatch of clothing that just, in my opinion, does not suit 12. For reference, my favorite Capaldi looks are sparkly black jumper, hoodie, black trousers, and longish coat from the Zygon two-parter. It's casual while still feeling stylish. An indie t-shirt and checkered trousers are not. I'm not high. That look is goated with the sauce.
Yeah, I just googled
and I won't take criticism.
You're high, actually.
Mate, it's a sick look.
Yeah,
man.
he looks cool, man. He's
in
cool.
his homeless chic era.
Yeah,
okay?
He's got the boots. He's got the weird, and it maintains a level of Doctor quirkiness without being too overboard. Yeah,
I love it. I think it's a great look. I understand that it's not like a good look. Like it's not it's not a well-dressed man that's going on.
No,
here,
it's not like a fashionista would not go wow.
Yes,
yeah.
But I think that's the point of it. That's why I like it. You know, it's messy, and I like that. Secondly, I may have a theory on why a lot of fans grew tired of Clara by the end of her run. I thank you for changing my opinion, and now see Series 8 Clara as a top 5 companion. However, watching through this series, I noticed she's not actually in a lot of episodes with Capaldi. In the opener, she's mainly with Missy. In Before the Flood, they split up. She's barely in The Woman Who Lived. In the Zygon 2-parter, she's not Clara, she's Bonnie. And then she's missing out of all of Heaven Sent and some of Hellbent. Now, I may be wrong, but given Jenna Coleman was due to depart in heaven, her best exit, then last Christmas, I have a feeling Moffat wasn't quite sure how to string the Clara becomes the Doctor arc out until its admittedly excellent climax in the final third. The result is she's just kind of there and feels like we can't move forward in the Doctor's journey despite Jenna's great performance. Combined with the two-parter decision, it makes the series feel really sluggish and tired. Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree. I also like maybe I misheard your point, or maybe misunderstood it. But like, it's there. It's Clara wanting to be the Doctor's been there since her first episode, pretty much.
The upside of this is Capaldi really carries the show and develops as the Doctor. You get to see him on his own much more. So while Series 8 felt like co-lead, Series 9 is definitely a Capaldi-fronted one. I'm sure you'll disagree with me on all this, Nathan. Yes. As it's your favourite series, which is completely valid, but I'd love to know your objective thoughts on this, and if either of you got the impression from watching it. I never got that impression, to be honest. Even when they are separated, they still have... I think because they're together, they are such a presence that it kind of goes unnoticed, for me anyway. It's not something that... you're keenly aware of or even focused on, just because again when they are together it's such a powerhouse. I think
there's an aspect of it as well that maybe is because Clara Series 8 introduces so much of Clara's home life into the show and up for conversation, you know, with Danny Pink and everything else, and her teaching career is a bit more prominent, that it feels more Clara focused, whereas Series 9 is way more the Doctor and Clara's relationship, so it's more about a pairing for them. I actually fundamentally disagree. I don't think Series 9 is a Capaldi-led thing. I think it's quite an equal footing for them.
Same.
Yeah.
My weirdo of the series is Stephen Moffat for inexplicably choosing to do solely 2-part stories, apart from Sleep No More, which should have clearly been a 2-parter about Trap Street, then culminating Clara's bird death. They're not called an unkindness of ravens for no reason. Are they called a
Murder of Crows?
Murder of Crows, yeah. Okay, there you go.
He missed the trick there, didn't he? The Doctor could have gone, that crow's literally done a murder.
If it wasn't for fucking Marky Mark, you know.
Classic Mark. Had to just wedge his little shit episode in there, didn't he?
Sorry, this has been a stupid long thought. Can I say how much I appreciate your dedication to getting so many podcasts recorded ahead of time? LOL. I added the LOL because we didn't.
Yeah.
We are truly spoiled as a community and hope everything is well with Lawrence's family. They're not, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's horrible. Don't say that.
I won't, I'm sorry. I regret that as soon as I said it.
Hey, that's my little one now.
No, not he'll live forever. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's good.
Can't wait for the Nick/Ruth dynamic between Nathan and the newborn. For any new girl fans out there, who's Ruth?
Ruth is Schmidt and Cece's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like Ruth fucking just makes fun of Nick, and Nick's like, "Fuck you."
That's very fun. I like that. Keep on legging, Sam. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you for your thoughts, and thank you for your well wishes. My family's doing very well. Thank you very much, and you're welcome. We recorded maybe 4 podcasts ahead of time for you.
No, I think it was 6.
Was it 6?
It might have been 6. It was like half the season.
It was. To be fair, it was half. It was.
Yeah.
Did my dog just die? Oh no, she's fine.
Yeah.
She just kicked a newspaper off or something.
She's all right.
Yeah, it's not even a newspaper. It's like a little magazine. You right, my sweetheart? Sorry, I'm just chatting to my dog. Everyone, wait a sec. Hello. Yeah. She's getting warm. We're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah, that's all the emails.
That's all the emails. Lovely. I'll finish off on a thought from Joe, who says, overhated IMO.
Ooh.
My main complaint is with the Clara stuff. I like Clara's annoyance that she was dead and gone and the doctor should have left her be. I even love the stuff with Clara in the diner. I just think that her flying off with a Shielder/me is pushing it a bit. I do also love the conclusion in the hybrid storyline. After seasons of answers to the big mysteries, I like that there's one where we're really not sure what it actually meant in the end. Being honest, far from the worst finale. So it's a mixed bag of thoughts.
A mixed bag. Look, people, I don't think I'm ever going to change anyone's mind on it, and that's fine. You know, we all have our different opinions, and I think that's the beauty of Doctor Who, okay? We can all have our different... Someone's favourite can be someone's least liked episode, and someone's, most dog shit can be someone's fucking magnum opus, okay?
Yeah. You like 42, I like School Reunion.
Yeah, exactly. Doctor Who, it caters to a wide taste. It's such a beautiful show, and I think that really is the beauty of it. At the end of the day, we can all come together, and no matter what, there's something for us all to enjoy on this grand buffet that is Doctor Who.
You are so correct. And a testament to how correct you are, I will now begin to outro the show. We also forgot to do the hour-long thing. We got too invested. We didn't do
you can put in the fucking the pre-baked one.
Yeah. Whenever we just break glass in case of forgetting to add.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for listening, everyone. If you've enjoyed the show, you can give us a little 5-star review. That would be very cool. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at Still Got Legs Pod. And also, you are very welcome to join the Discord. We're having fun over there. We're playing Minecraft. We're making friends. It's an inclusive, safe space where a bunch of nerds can just come and have some fun. It's good vibes over there. Genuinely, if you want to join, that's fine. If you don't, that is also fine. You're welcome to join and lurk as well if you're one of those types, which I am a lot of the time as well. It's true. Thank you to Nathan for a lovely podcast.
Yay!
And thank you to Nina for managing the short form content, as well as marshalling the Discord server alongside Maylena, and of course Pierce, who needs the hub. Come on, Pierce, build the website.
Yay!
Where's the website?
Yeah, Pierce, where's the website? Everyone go to anotherhappystudios.com and demand the website.
And go, what's this under construction tab I'm seeing?
Don't do it. You might crash it. I don't know.
Are we in trouble? Are we going to get in trouble?
I don't know. Maybe I'll yell at us.
I don't know if we've messed his work up here.
I like how we're scared of Pierce, who we employ.
He's got so much power. He's got too much power, but also he's the only one that's responsible enough to wield it. So
it's true. I'm terrified of him. He could end this whole show.
I feel like he could somehow. I feel like
he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
he'll find a way. Yeah, good on him.
If you're interested, everyone, we have a little Patreon as well. Each month you can get yourself a little topic episode, an episode commentary, as voted on by you. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, you're doing the woe, so after... Okay, got you.
Yeah.
And also an episode of our bonus podcast, Still Got Rex, where we discuss something we've been watching, checking out, and want to recommend in the realm of pop culture.
And how much can I get all of that for? I would assume £10,000.
Well, you're right.
All that content.
It certainly sounds worth
that's what it's worth to me.
Well, Nathan, I'm going to blow your cock off here, right?
£10,000 a day, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree too. Which is why I was so shocked when I moseyed on over there and discovered it was, Nathan, a mere £5 for a month.
What?
I know.
We're making money off of this?
Well, I don't know. Jury's still out.
Kind of.
In a way,
really,
when the mugs go out, we'll see. We'll see what the profit is.
Once the mugs have gone out, then we might start to make some
there might be a
money.
bit, but then the initial run of big mugs.
Unless everyone drops off as soon as they get their mug.
Oh, God.
Okay, please don't do
What
that.
a cruel joke that would be. Anyway, when our patrons join us, they join our little TARDIS as companions, and it's time to find out who they are. Nathan, who is joining us in our fucked up TARDIS this week?
First of all, we have all the way from Chelmsford in Essex.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know.
Well, it's ESS. I assume that's Essex.
Or it's Essington.
No, it's Essex. Shut up. Anyway, from Chelmsford in Essex, it is Henry. Okay.
Hello, Henry.
Now, Henry, okay, invented and sells Henry the Hoovers. Okay. So, and our TARDIS has got a bit lackluster. It's got a bit messy.
Yeah, of course.
quite
There's so many
recently.
people
I mean,
in there.
look how many people are in here. It's
Yeah.
it's full to the rafters. Everyone's, making mess and everything like that.
No one's got a bed. There's no toilets. Everyone's shitting on the
No.
floor.
Yeah. Wait, what? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We need to talk about that. But anyway, so we decided we need to clean this place up a bit. So we went to the Henry the Hoover store,
Yeah.
which of course Henry owns and operates.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, we need some Hoovers. And Henry was like, no worries, I can sort you out. I've got a great treat here. Look at these beautiful Henry the Hoovers. £500 each. I went, £500? You must be joking.
Yeah.
So obviously I kidnapped both Henry and all of his Hoovers.
And all the
and all the
all of
Hoovers.
them.
All of them. We got Henry. We got Henrietta.
Yeah.
We got whatever the other ones are called.
There's probably
Okay.
like a little Henry or like a
a
Henry
Blinky
son.
or a Blonky or some shit. There's I don't know what's going on. All right.
Yeah.
But we got it. We got the whole gang. All right. We
whole
got all
gang.
the Henry the Hoover gangs.
Yeah.
Is that a British thing?
Henry the Hoover.
Hoovers?
No, maybe.
Do you fuck with Henry the Hoover in America?
I don't know if they've got Henry. They've probably got something like it's probably like Harold. What do they call it? They call it vacuums, don't they?
Harold. Henry
Vinny
the
the
Hoover. Henry. Well, they call Wally Waldo, don't they?
I hate that. Why?
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? Why do you have to be
Fuck
different?
knows. His name's Wally.
And
all
you've
right?
got dumb houses that fall over all the time.
Yeah, and you got your dumb houses. Henry the Hoover, a popular vacuum cleaner known for its friendly face. Henry is widely recognised and sold in the UK. It's not as common in the US. The name Hoover is most closely associated with the American company, the Hoover Company. I don't know what this is.
The
That's just
Hoover
Google's.
Company.
Yeah, that's Google's shit AI.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know if you have Henry.
Yeah. So we've got
the Hoover
Henry,
that
we've
is.
got his Hoovers.
We got Henry, we got his Hoovers.
Nice.
And we're having a good time.
Lovely stuff. Well, the next person joining us, Nathan, is Lauren Freeman G from St.
Ooh.
Ives in Con. Lovely.
Where would that be?
Convent. That's not a thing.
I'm gonna look it up. St. Ives, UK.
Yeah, it is in the UK.
Yeah, it's clearly UK. Cornwall.
Cornwall. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
That's not the first three letters of Cornwall.
No. That's stupid. Why are you saying that?
Fuck's sake. Well, actually, it is actually quite relevant that they are. Nope, that's not going to work.
Oh, there we go. This will be
That's
good.
not going to work. Anyway, we picked Lauren Freeman up at Cornwall, which is a wall made of corn that we were very
there we
eager to
go.
go to because we've got a lot of people in the
Yeah.
TARDIS. We've got to feed them, right? So we thought, you know what? There's a wall of corn here, right? This will be great. We'll go in, we'll get all our corn on the cobs, and we'll take them all into the TARDIS. Everyone will have their dinner, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we mistook that. We read Cornwall too literally and ended up just in Cornwall.
Yeah.
But luckily, Lauren Freeman G was there to provide us with bacon sarnies.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we thought, you know what? You've earned your place. Come on in, bacon sarnies for everyone. And along they came, and now they won't leave because they keep catering to us with bacon sandwiches.
Lovely. That's beautiful. Thank you for the bacon sandwich.
So welcome. It was me that did it.
I wasn't thanking you. I was thanking Lauren. Okay.
It was my idea.
All right. Next up, we have Meg Schmitter.
Schmitter, more like shitter on the TARDIS floor. Sorry.
Still, I hate you so much. And you'll see why I hate you in just a moment, okay? But Meg Schmitter, okay, from The Void, okay, we found her on the shitter, okay?
You got to get there quicker, son. You got to wake up earlier than me.
It was not your time to talk. Okay.
You see, if I see a little improv, I'm taking it.
No, I don't like that anyway. That's mean. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
For all we know, Meg could have been bullied at school with that.
Meg could have IBS. And is unable to be a shitter.
I'm so sorry, Meg. I'm so sorry for all of this. You know, because of that, I'm breaking format. We found Meg and gave her a lovely warm hug and treated her to a nice day out visiting all the favourite places that she wanted to visit.
Yeah.
And then we kidnapped her.
Because she's had such a hard life having IBS. It was like
Stop
it was like a Make-A-Wish, but make a shit.
Stop! I don't like these. Stop.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, no, good format break. I like that. That's nice. Sorry, Meg. Yeah. Sorry. If you do actually have IBS, I'm very sorry.
Stop
but you can
with
go to the
IBS
doctors.
thing.
There's medicine for that these days.
Stop with the IBS thing, my guy.
Now, even the last person joining us this week is Garen Howells, and they're from
Ooh,
Cardiff.
I know Cardiff.
Yeah, it's the home of Stefan Powell.
It's where that museum is.
It's where the museum is, but we didn't find them in the museum, Nathan. We actually found them in a local bin outside the museum, right? And they were rummaging through because, Nathan, I don't know if you know this, Garen Howells was actually in wolf form, right? Howling at the moon, you could say. Anyway, there was a bunch of bald monks, and they were like, look at this wolf. We've got a wolf, but we saved Garen from the wolves, and we took him into the TARDIS, where he could be safe, warm, and safely transform into a werewolf every month without having to rifle through bins.
Garen is from Cardiff.
Yeah.
And of all the Doctor Who connections...
Yeah, I went for the one in Scotland.
You went for the one in Scotland because their name is Garen Howells.
Howells at the moon.
Okay, great. Well, welcome aboard, Garen. Welcome aboard, Meg. Welcome aboard, Lauren. Welcome aboard, Henry. Thank you all very much for joining and supporting the Patreon. We very much appreciate it. Running out of names here.
We are running out of names. What are we going to do? We're going to circle back?
There's a few, I haven't updated it. I think there's a couple more to go on, so I think we'll probably get maybe 2 more weeks out of the current list, and then we'll circle back. We
can either circle back or we wait until we've got 4 new ones.
Well, maybe we'll just do something else. Like we start again, and we're like, this time we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened when fucking how they? I don't know.
We'll figure something. Look, this is an off-air chat, all right?
Yeah, we'll figure something out. All right?
We'll figure something out. Anyway, thank you so much to everyone for listening. Thank you so much for joining us on our wacky adventures discussing Doctor Who.
Maybe we'll do 2 a week next time.
Yeah, maybe we'll slim it down a bit.
Extend it a little bit.
Yeah, to be fair, it has been noted to me that the outro of this show goes on for like 20 minutes. Maybe we need to rework that for Series 10. Should we have a little think, see what we can do?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening, everyone. We'll see you next Monday. Stay beautiful, stay loving Doctor Who, stay defending Clara against all odds.
Stay penis. I panicked. Okay, I'm panicked.
Do you want to redo it?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Bye, everyone. I love you.
Bye.